Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hey man, y'all drop some voices in the chat if I can be heard. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee. Megaton light bomb. Not a kiloton, a megaton. You talking about 1,000,000 tons of light. You know what I mean? Love, light, and balance to everybody. All praises to the ever-present creator, God maker of suns, moons, and stars. Mighty and great I am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. Y'all hit that like button, share button, subscribe button all day. Y'all see the top of the day, Credit Gang Chop Session, War, Carnage, and Deity Danger. Whenever the war drums are beating, everybody get the, draws get the riding tight. You know how I go. You start saying it's the most high, creator doing all this, and it's like, y'all keep missing the mark, you know what I mean? But y'all go ahead and share this. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah, we love y'all too. Nothing but love and light, man. Nothing but love and light. Let me go ahead and play this real quick for y'all. Get this music in the back here chopping it up. Let me see you all in the chat real quick when we get started. Got my brother. Got my family in the scene. Nazarene to sing faith is in the building. Nazarene to sing faith is, what's the word? Love, light, balance. Love, light, and balance. I got my brother Bishop X in the building. What's the word up? Love, light, and balance to everyone. You feel me? Got the West Side Connect, Dreadful Cosmon, nigga Thostra. What's the word up? Love, light, and balance. We got my brother Zoe. Y'all Zoe. What's the word? My brother out of Texas. Or whatever part of the country you in now. I know you be driving out, man. Safe travels. Love, light, and balance in the building. Who else we got up in here? Chieftain is key. What's the word, listen? What's the word? What's major out here in these streets? Correct, it's truly marvelous. Who else we got up in here? Got my brother T Bro in the building. My brother from the turf. 3-1 flow, stand up. 3-1 flow. Love and light to you. I got to get you on to interview you. Got to interview you song. You dig? You can break down some of them bars and some of that music you got inspired by the creator. You know what I mean? We'll chop it up, T Brew, for sure. Might as well go ahead and line it up. Song. I'm my brother Just Me in the building. What's the word up? Love, light, balance. So, bro, I'm in Bridge, Missouri right now. I'll be back in time tomorrow. You live in Bridgeton, Missouri right now? That's just where you picking up at. I got no Bridgeton. That's right up the highway. Yeah, Bridgeton, like Northwest County, St. Louis. Global Purpose is in the building. Love, light, and balance. Love, light, and balance. My sister, Global Purpose. FGK Capone. My brother Kev in the building. What's the word up? What's the word? Love and light. Loving light. We got my brother. The Bronze Yoke has entered the building. The Bronze Yoke. What's the word, Aki? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's all good, man. Nothing but love and light bombs over this way. You dig? Just coming on, letting everybody know, stay encouraged. There's a few dark spots in your life you be traveling through, but hey, the earth travels through its pockets of darkness as well. You feel me? So, it's all going to work out for us. Let's get into some of this real quick. Hold on. Let me see. Training, I ain't feeling it. I hear you guys, oh boy. I move this off the screen real quick. Bow. I never watch some of this because I'm pretty sure y'all be hearing about this Israel-Iran thing going on. And everybody, pumping fear and was World War III. We about to get up out of Iraq. Chariots, all this. And this the most high that's making Iran and shit. Iran damn near got wiped off the map messing with Israel now, to be honest with you. Iran is not winning this battle right here. As we speak, they getting their ass bombed. Yeah, Israel got the most bodies. They got the most bodies right now. You dig? But it's just crazy, man, how people, when they see war and carnage and all that, they be That's the Most High. You be thinking the maker of suns, moons, and stars. You be thinking the God maker has something to do with this. And you know what I mean? The CGG love to be the, you know, the bearer of bad news when it comes to, you know, to exposing your deity. Look, there ain't none of these wars sanctioned by the creator of suns, moons, and stars at all. Not a little bit. Here you go. You can't wait for some nuclear bombs to get launched out of their silos and nigga get launched on your United States cities. And as the bombs are dropping, you supposed to simultaneously be getting go-go gadgets whisked away in some chariots. That's the bombs dropping. Bombs supposed to be dropping in America. Bombs supposed to be dropping in Israel. Dick Rose like, man, look, it's time to get up out of here and go where? Like, where you going? This thing going down. But the beautiful part about it is, look, man, the creator ain't got nothing to do with none of this. All of this is the inspiration of false gods, false lords, deities. You feel me? And what you got here is what? You got the devotees of these deities playing it out. Third. Hook, line, and sinker. You think it's a game? What you think we playing? You must think we play.
Trump says everyone should immediately evacuate.
This nigga Donald Trump say, hey, y'all better leave Tehran. Y'all better leave the capital of Iran or else. Boy, man.
Some breaking news now. Donald Trump says everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. In a post on Truth Social, the US president says, Iran should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. And the president, Donald Trump, is in Canada at the moment for the G7. And he says he does not intend to sign a joint statement calling for de-escalation between Israel and Iran. So there's some latest developments there.
So a potential diplomatic off-ramp there. And just moments ago, the Secretary of Defence, Pete Hegseth, also saying that military capabilities are being moved in to the Middle East region to put a new defence posture in place. But certainly the concern here is that this will escalate into a wider war, Jane.
Lauren, thank you.
The White House and Secretary of State Marco Rubio reshared the president's message on social media. Tehran, again, home to over 9 million people. So, of course, this is breaking news, and this makes you think that another attack from Israel may be imminent on that very large city. The city of Phoenix, about 5 million, something like that. So it's about twice the size of Phoenix.
Have you heard any signals or seen any messages from intermediaries that Iran wishes to de-escalate the conflict?
Yeah.
What have you heard? What have you heard from the Iranians?
They'd like to talk, but they should have done that before.
Man, hey, this nigga Trump, boy, hey, they should have signed the deal. What a waste of human life. What are you learning about Iran and all that? They like to talk. Huh? Y'all look, Trump is a businessman. That's how they get down in them boardrooms and them execs and all that. You think it's a game? Watch that series called Billions. Got like 8 seasons. Bobby Axelrod and all that. Man, look, dude get down just like Trump. He just the CEO of the largest hedge fund. Financial firm in New York, if you want to call it. They're worth billions. And that's the whole backdrop of this series I be watching called Billions. You know what I mean? But just tripping off how dude act in the series and how Donald Trump act, man, look, Donald Trump is a businessman and corporations go to war with each other just like this. It's just minus the bloodshed on a massive level. But they be straight, make no mistake about it. They be straight at war with each other to utterly destroy each other. They get off watching their opponent lose billions and have to, you know what I mean? It'd be straight war. Trump is a straight up businessman, y'all. And that's what business is. Business is war minus all that bloodshed and gore. You see what I'm saying? And man, look, the way dude be talking, he like, look, I ain't hearing none of it. I ain't heard none of it. This what it is, and this what it's gonna be. You feel me? But again, for all you Episcopalian evangelicals who claim Trump is just a gift from God, you dig? Who was this man inspired by? Don't forget, you dealing with the man that dropped that Moab bomb 5 years ago. Mother of all bombs in Afghanistan, and buried the inhabitants of that town 50 feet below the earth's surface. Donald Trump. Huh? That's the same dude that straight told Kim Jong mentally ill. North Korea, look, he didn't say better not. He said North Korea, he folded his arms, crossed his arms, said North Korea bets, B-E-T-Z, bets not better not, bets not make another threat, or we gonna unleash something that they've never seen in the annals of world history. That's who you dealing with, right? He straight said they should have accepted the deal I put on the table. Too late. What a waste of human life. Man, I'm telling you.
60 days, and they had 60 days, and on the 61st day, I said, we don't have a deal. They have to make a deal, and it's painful for both parties, but I'd say Iran is not winning this war, and they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
And what would you say, in your opinion, what would it take for the U.S. to get involved in this conflict militarily?
I don't want to talk about it.
I think we've got to realize that what we...
it's painful for both parties, but they'd like to talk, but they should have.
Phoenix, about 5 million, something like that. So it's about twice the size of Phoenix.
Have you heard any signals or seen any messages from intermediaries that Iran wishes to de-escalate the conflict?
Yeah.
What have you heard? What have you heard from the Iranians?
They'd like to talk, but they should have done that before. I had 60 days, and they had 60 days, and on the 61st day, I said, we don't have a deal. They have to make a deal, and it's painful for both parties, but I'd say Iran is not winning this war, and they should talk, and they should talk immediately before it's too late.
And what would you say, in your opinion, what would it take for the U.S. to get involved in this conflict militarily?
I don't want to talk about it.
I think we've got to realize that what we are already seeing is a world war, World War III. It's not a war in Ukraine over there, a war with Israel over here, and then, China's threatened war against Taiwan over there, all separate. And that's another reason why Israel's war with Iran is so dangerous. As I've said for a couple of years, there is a new alliance of tyrannies. Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea all working together, helping each other out with their wars, sending weapons, diplomatic cover, and with their planned wars too. Iran, for instance, supplies Russia with kamikaze drones for its war in Ukraine. And China and Russia are backing Iran diplomatically. Last week voted against that International Atomic Energy Agency resolution condemning Iran's nuclear weapons program. And right now we are seeing how a war in the Middle East can help China. America has been forced to move the aircraft carrier Nimitz and its supporting warships from the Pacific, where they're patrolling near China. It now seems on its way to the Middle East to support Israel, which would leave China, of course, freer to attack Taiwan. I'm not tipping that yet. It's far too early, I think, for China to do that.
This is Natanz here, just to the east and south of it. This is an aerial picture, General, okay, of Natanz and what it was before. You've got buildings and structures here, buildings here, and buildings here. That's pre-war. Now you've got complete devastation in Natanz here, this building located here, as well as this one in the upper right-hand corner. Natanz is very different from what this site that you're describing. Firdau is a half-mile buried inside of a mountain. And you believe the United States has no choice but to get involved with the Iranians? What? Explain that, sir.
Well, it's in the United States court national interest that Iran does not have a nuclear capability and get to it. That's a fact. And this capability, if we leave it there, the Ayatollah will recover and rebuild. And that's what he's absolutely counting on. That's why he never was willing to dismantle the program himself with verification. That would end his program. Here he believes he has a chance. And that's what these guys are all about. And we've got to finish what we started here. We can't look like we haven't come to the assistance of the Israelis when they needed it the most here to finish this operation. They are our strongest ally in the region. What do you think the Arabs would think after the president's visit there, looking at this and they're saying, my, if the United States isn't going to help the Israelis at this critical time, what's the chance they're going to help us? And does this motivate Putin a little bit more to stay the course in terms of what he's doing, and President Xi? If we don't help the Israelis finish this off, it's their operation. We would lend a support to it to finish it off. And that's what.
Hey, but check this out, though. Check this out. All this is ordained by who you call God, right? Well, why do the Israelis need anyone's help or support? After all, their God is supposed to be the supreme being of everything. Supposed to be the grand architect of the universe. Why would the Israelis need help from any other nation if, for one, this thing is sanctioned by the Creator and they are the Creator's people? Then why would they need help from anyone? Let's show you, look, the Creator ain't got nothing to do with all this carnage and bloodshed and war. Nothing. Nothing. Right? If anything, these are deities. These are false gods pump faking like they the Creator. That's what this is. And that's why we always tell you that, look, listen for the message. Stop tripping off what a thing look like, what name it give you, or even if it got the ability to do some type of miracle. The hell with all that. What's the message? It's the message: love, life, happiness, liberty to all, without the bloodshed of any, or is it go over there and kill that, take that land, kill those infants, slay those animals, kill all the men, keep the virgin daughters to yourself? You over here 30 at 30, clicked your heels and dove head first into some warfare and bloodshed and carnage. You just 30 at 30 with it. You ain't even like question nothing. Like, hey, go over there and kill your child. 30 at 30. Like these niggas is robots. Automons. The hell are we even talking about? If Israel is the chosen people of the Creator and the Creator is sanctioning war, why in the hell do they need help from anyone? Why? Look, let me help you out with something. You dig? The quote unquote God over the Israelis is a false God, just like the God over the Iranians is a false God. The Creator don't sanction warfare. For one, if you knew anything about the responsibility, if you knew anything about the system in order for the souls of those who were slain in warfare, nigga, you think a million times when you take somebody's life. Now hold on. They ain't got to take his life. I'll slow him down. Shoot him in his foot or something. They sit down and wait for the authorities to get her and scoop you on up. Like, but you ain't, look, if you kill somebody, and make no mistake about it, those who give the orders are just as much as guilty as the one who actually pulled the trigger or pressed the button to drop the bomb. Everybody from the one who gave the order down to the nigga who made it, who made the strap, who made the bomb. Everybody is responsible. From the manufacturing of it, to the ordering of it, to the execution of it. You're all involved. You're all involved. And that's on a macro level and a micro level. Don't think you judges and you sheriffs and you deputies and got away with a damn thing. You mayors, you governors, been giving orders to execute people and death row and all that. Look, everybody who passed the damn law, who agreed on it, who ordered it, and who executed it, got an answer for that. Everybody's involved. Everybody's involved. So don't think you about to lick your fingers and get away with this. This goes even down to the young hoppers in the streets. Huh? Everyone's involved, man. So it's important to understand the character of the creators. Look, red flag number one. If Israel is the chosen of the creator, the creators sanctioned the war, why the hell do they need help from another nation? Why?
What I'm suggesting, and I'm certain the president is making those considerations.
Jack King, General, thank you. Appreciate the analysis, and we'll speak again later today. Thank you, Jack.
But this is how this alliance can work. Always stretching the West, which is already desperately undergunned. Its weapon stocks are very low after supplying Ukraine for 3 years. And all those Australian ministers saying, oh, we just need to negotiate. They don't realize our enemies operate under different moral rules. Honestly. I mean, you know, like I said, some actually believe that until, you know, the lost Mahdi returns, Islam will not be reformed, and that can't happen until Israel is destroyed. And they chant war cries in Parliament like this. And I just got to clear up one thing in my argument with Steve Conroy, who said Trump's response, just negotiate, is exactly like Penny Wong's. I want to read that tweet I referred to now that I have it, or a Truth Social post, where Trump said there's already been great death and destruction, but there is still time to make this slaughter with the next already planned attacks on Iranian means being even more brutal come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left and save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more.
Boy, now it will only get worse. There has already been great death and destruction. But there's still time to make the slaughter with the next already planned attacks being even more brutal come to an end. Iran must make a deal before there is nothing left. Boy, hey, it's all over but the shouting. And y'all still think this is inspired by the creator, the all-loving, all-omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, unseen creator. You think this is inspired? You think these words are inspired by the creator? And save what was once known as the Iranian Empire. No more death, no more destruction. Just do it before it's too late. God bless you all. Look at him coming with a blessing after threatening with carnage. Hey, man, leave me alone. There's no way possible you mealy-mouthed misfortunates think that this is in any way possible inspired by the creator, the God maker. There's no way. There's no way. Listen to your president. Listen to your prayers. Don't get mad at me. Most of you mealy-mouthed misfortunates voted for him. Hey, I'm telling you. I'll tell you, I don't even think people really understand. Man, we don't do none of that. Catch me out here voting for that. Man, please.
Death, no more destruction. Just do it before it is too late. Can you tell me where Penny Wong, Anthony Albanese, Richard Marles issued any threat like that? Joining me is the country's top foreign affairs writer, Greg Sheridan of the Australian newspaper. Greg, great to see you. Where is this conflict going?
Well, great to be with you, Andrew. So I must say I absolutely endorse your proposition that the conflicts in Ukraine, Taiwan and Iran are all related and in a sense part of the same conflict. Israel still has at least some days and perhaps more than that to go in trying to destroy key Iranian nuclear, military and now economic targets. The $64 million question is whether Israel can hit the nuclear facility in Fordo without American help, The bunker buster bomb can only be carried by an American aircraft. And, Trump is better than Biden. Biden wouldn't have allowed Israel to do this. But the Israelis very much wanted the Americans to help them because they have so much more powerful an air force. What we are seeing is two terrible trends in the contemporary world. I mean, we're seeing 1,000 terrible trends, but we're seeing nuclear weapons roar back into the centre of all strategic calculations, and we're seeing the breakdown of American extended nuclear deterrence. All American allies except Israel and Britain and France don't have nuclear weapons of their own, which means we all shelter under extended American nuclear deterrence. That means if a nuclear weapon state struck us with a nuclear weapon, America would strike them with a nuclear weapon. But if more semi-rogue states like North Korea and Iran get nuclear weapons, not only are they then impossible to deter within their own region, because if you're taking serious military action against them, they'll threaten nuclear weapons against you. But the development of missile technology means that North Korea and Iran will soon be able to hit the United States itself with missiles. That means if North Korea is having a confrontation with South Korea and America intervenes, North Korea can threaten Los Angeles and San Francisco with nuclear annihilation. And if Iran gets the nuclear bomb, it will also be able to do that. And we know that China proliferated nuclear technology to Pakistan and to Iran precisely to hurt India and to hurt America. All this proliferation ultimately comes from China and some of it from North Korea, from China through North Korea. And it would be a diabolical strategic development for the world if Iran gets nuclear weapons. And if it does, then quite sensibly, probably Saudi Arabia and other nations in the Middle East would also want nuclear weapons to provide for their own security. And a world in which we go from sort of 7 or 8 nuclear weapon states to maybe 10 or 12 or 15 is 1,000 times more dangerous.
Particularly when one of those countries is led by what we would consider irrational leadership with religious motivations, end of the world type of motivations that are, different moral paradigm completely that we cannot talk them out of.
Donald Trump leaving the G7 early and returning to Washington, where he's requesting the National Security Council be prepared in the Situation Room after a deadly weekend in the Middle East. In Israel, 24 fatalities, 600 wounded.
I have to be back. Very important. I want to just thank our great host. He did a fantastic job. Thank you. In Canada. But you probably see what I see. And I have to be back as soon as I can. We're going to have dinner with the...
Hey, boy, everybody got up on the edge of their seat when Trump left that G7 summit early yesterday. Trump boy left that G7 summit like, yeah, I'm out of here. Everybody like, dang. But he doing that as the bombs dropping. Hey, y'all, look, Iran, they about to change the name of the Persian Gulf. They about to change the name of the Persian Gulf to whatever the hell. I bet whatever name go on it gonna be some type of ally to Israel and the United States. I bet. But they about to all that Strait of Hormuz and the Persian Gulf and man. Look, they about to rename that sucker. And the only way that's gonna happen is if the powers that be over in Iran, you understand, get totally destroyed. They not even playing with them. They not even playing with them. They, as of right now, they losing this conflict.
These wonderful leaders, and then I get on the plane. I have to be back early for obvious reasons. I loved it. I tell you, I loved it, and I think we got a lot done. Really, a lot done. In fact, UK we signed a big trade deal today, and we're working on others. But we had just a really great relationship with everybody. And it's really nice. I wish I could stay for tomorrow, but they understand. This is big stuff.
A little change to the president's schedule. As you know, he's been at the G7, but Caroline Leavitt tweeting out a little bit of a change. She says this: President Trump had a great day at the G7, even signing a major trade deal with the United Kingdom and President Keir Starmer. Much was accomplished. Here is the important part here. But because of what is going on in the Middle East, President Trump will be leaving tonight after dinner with heads of state. This comes just about an hour after he encouraged an evacuation out of Tehran. We'll keep you up to date with the latest.
As President Trump has posted this ominous message to Truth Social that concludes with the statement that everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. This, as U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says, additional resources are being moved into the CENTCOM area of responsibility. Our Pentagon team reports that those additional resources are coming in the form of refueling tankers, which are being moved to Europe so they can aid in the efforts here in the Middle East. Also, we've earlier confirmed that the USS Nimitz carrier strike group is being moved to the Middle East earlier than expected. The USS Nimitz is the oldest aircraft carrier in the U.S. fleet, and quite possibly this will be its last deployment or major deployment. Meantime, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel reports, or boasts, I should say, that his fighters enjoy air superiority in the skies over Tehran.
אז זה הדיווחים האמריקאים שיש עכשיו. טראמפ צפוי לחתום ממש בקרוב על צו נשיאותי להצטרפות של ארצות הברית למלחמה. יש גם דיווחים שארצות הברית בעצמה כבר תוקפת בטהרן. ראינו את הציוד שהוא פרסם ממש עכשיו. איראן הייתה צריכה לחתום על העסקה שאמרתי להם איזה חבל ובזבוז של חיי אדם. ושים לב עודד, גם הבית הלבן וגם החשבון של דונלד טראמפ סימנו, מרקרו את המשפט שכולם צריכים להתפנות מטהרן מיד. יש ככל הנראה עכשיו התפתחות מאוד מאוד משמעותית בשעות הקרובות, שהאמריקאים, אנחנו רואים אותם כבר מזיזים כוחות לכיוון המזרח התיכון, מזיזים נוסעות מטוסים ומטוסים באופן כללי לכיוון המזרח התיכון, באמת בשביל לתגבר את הכוחות ולהיכנס למלחמה באופן מאוד מאוד רשמי. זה הכל דיווחים מאוד מאוד ראשוניים, אני מקווה לעדכן בשעות הקרובות חדשות נוספות.
אז ליבי, גם את לא הולכת לישון היום.
אני לא הולכת לישון אף פעם.
עד כדי כך, וואו. אז את באמת גיבורה, אז ליבי, אנחנו צריכים לדעת את כל הדברים מדויק. לא, אני לא רוצה ב-98%, רוצים ב-100% לדעת, לבשר לצופים שארצות הברית כבר תוקפת בטהרן יחד איתנו, והיא כבר יד ביד עם ישראל, לא רק בדיבורים, אלא גם במעשים, לא רק בעזרה בנשק, אלא ממש בלחימה ממש, כמו שאומרים. תודה רבה, ליבי, שהיית איתנו, ואנחנו נחזור אלייך בהמשך. מה, אליהו?
Exclusive satellite images revealing the location of a previously unknown Iranian nuclear site. Now, the facility spans nearly 2,500 acres, and this is a big discovery. Jillian Turner has more from the State Department. Good morning, Jillian.
Pretty explosive, Dana. These satellite images that we have obtained exclusively show the alleged site location and even the layout of the secret, previously unknown nuclear weapons facilities inside Iran. This, of course, raises fresh concerns about the regime's role in these ongoing nuclear talks with the Trump administration. The National Council of Resistance of Iran has collected intelligence from sources on the ground inside Iran that locate this nuclear weapons facility.
Man, they be killing all they scientists, all the ones they financiers, all that. They been straight like, I'm talking about, y'all, this deal is wild. You know what I mean? Because if you got out here and acted like Israel or the United States, if you handled your business how they handle their business, you understand? Listen to me. You wouldn't even be alive pulling air through your bull nostrils. You see? If it's wrong, it's wrong. It don't matter who doing it, government, peasants, that's irrelevant. If murder is wrong, it's wrong all across the board. It ain't, oh, well, because Donald Trump with his orange face said you can go over here and bomb these people out of existence. There you go, want to lockstep, click your heels, go to the military. You know what you signing up for? Or they can give you a sign-on bonus. They know exactly what they doing. You understand what I'm saying? We've been prepped and desensitized to death. That look, we just watched the video that said 600 some people have been murdered. What happened? Like when that skips across the plate of your mind, how do you process that? Is it a yawn? Is it a sweep that under the rug? Like, oh, that's nothing. Think about it, 600 souls. 600 spirits birthed into chaos. And you just sneeze at this now. So desensitized. 100 years ago, there was a massacre called the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Can anybody guess how many people died yet? Huh? Can anyone guess how many people died 100 years ago in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre? Y'all, 7. We in pretty bad shape. We so desensitized and detached from what's real. Detached from that creator's vibe. You know what I mean? That creator frequency. That 600 people can be bombed out of existence. And you just go on about your regular day. Drinking your cup of Joe. Okay, you go have you some meat and eggs, huh? And drink you a cup of Joe. Back to your regular scheduled programming. Look how desensitized we've become, and I'm speaking of humanity, to death, murder, bloodshed. There's no way in the world you can convince anyone that really deal with creator that the creator is inspiring this. Him or his angel ambassadors that he dispatched to handle his business. If it's wrong, it's wrong. It don't matter because a general told you go over there and split that person's head to the white meat. Or your general told you as a drone operator to press that button and bomb this village with a hellfire missile. We so desensitized to death, it's just like 100 niggas get shot over the weekend, St. Louis and Chicago. You just, you shoulder shrug at it. Y'all, it's time to tap back into that creative frequency. Tap back in creative, man. You understand? We counsel war with peace, hate with love. Those forces are way more powerful. It's just when the earth is focused on all that, that's your reality. So it takes for us to put our peace on the situation, but not to be focused on it. That's why you don't hear us really, World War III, up, here it go. You know, you got your bug out bags ready and all your canteens. You ready to go build you some underground bunkers. And it's like, man, look, bro. You dig? Anything you can to hold on up. And you know why? Because the false gods have conditioned humanity to accepting death, but not knowing nothing about where they going. Nothing about it. You don't know nothing about it. You don't know the system in order. You don't know what you're going to be doing from day to day. You don't know if you're going to see your loved ones, if you continue to grow, educate, elevate, become advanced, be one of the angels he sent forth to go do something. You don't know none of that. You don't know if you're just going to go to sleep and wait for Gabriel's trumpet. You don't know if you're going to die and get 70 virgins and all the goat milk you can drink because you believe in Muhammad sandwich. You don't know. You don't know if you're going to be singing holy, holy, holy all day, breast stroking in the Euphrates River. You don't know. You just all over the place. So when fear is on the table, which is a weak emotion, when fear is on the table, right, you can control the masses because the masses with death and threats because the masses don't know nothing about where they going. Nothing. They don't know nothing about none of that. You know what I mean? In a minute, y'all gonna have to tap in with the gang. I'm just saying what you waiting on. We the ones telling you weapons down. We the ones letting you know the system in order of the spirit world. What's the system in order of the spirits of those who die and cross over? What happened to those who are slain in warfare? What about the infants and the sucklings? What about the abortions? What about All the questions you got. Well, I see my loved ones. All the questions you got. We over here teaching it. You see? The deities. Deity danger. The deities have did a marvelous job at keeping us deaf, dumb, and blind to where we headed.
Facility in what is called Semnon Province, far from the regime's already known nuclear sites. It's codenamed the Rainbow Site by Iran's officials, and it spans nearly 2,500 acres. It's been operating as far as we can discern.
He added in all caps in his Truth Social post, quote, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, emphasizing a red line he has issued again and again and again. Now, this comes as Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth confirms that defensive capabilities have been moved to the Middle East. We learned from Reuters earlier in the day that was to give the United States, quote, options. And there's dramatic new footage of the conflict that continues to pour in like this moment. Watch this.
You're going to be in the Situation Room pretty soon with the president. Is he still aiming for a nuclear deal with the Iranians?
Of course. The president's, as he said today, his position has not changed. What you're watching in real time is peace through strength and America first. Our job is to be strong. We are postured defensively in the region to be strong in pursuit of a peace deal. And we certainly hope that's what happens here. And America first means we're going to defend American personnel and American interests. So when you see jets and you see air defense assets and counter UAS assets, that's because my job as the Secretary of Defense is to ensure that our people are safe and that we're strong so that we can set the conditions for a deal. And President Trump's made it clear it's on the table. The question is whether Iran will take it.
All right. So the deal is still on the table, but all options are on the table from what it sounds like. What does that look like?
What it looks like right now is we're vigilant. We're prepared. And we've messaged consistently from the beginning that we're in the region to defend our people and our assets. And Israel took an action out of self-defense. We believe that Iran, as President has said from the beginning, should not have a nuclear weapon. That position hasn't changed. They can give it up peacefully. That position hasn't changed. And as a result, right now, we've got assets in the region and we're going to defend them. And we're going to.
Yeah. Trip off how hypocritical this is. Trip off how hypocritical this is, right? This is coming from there's only one country in the annals of world history who have even used a nuclear weapon. Can you guess what country that is? There's only one country in the annals of world history who have ever used a nuclear weapon on another nation. Can you guess who that country is and what nation that was? Let me see y'all answer in the chat. Can you guess? Can you guess? He my own it already. You know what I mean? Eba is on it. Not Africa. It's the United Snakes of America. Yeah. When they dropped Elona Gate, that's what they named the bomb. Elona Gate. When they bombed Hiroshima and knocked your socks off back in World War II, America is the country that the United States of America is the only country in the annals of world history who have detonated, who have used a nuclear bomb on another nation. A nuclear bomb. And they dropped it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, knocked your socks off. During World War II, and that ended World War II in the 1940s. So how hypocritical is it for the only nation who have ever dropped any type of nuclear bomb on anybody, twist their mouths and say another nation can't have one? Wow. Well, guess what, United Snakes of America? You stand guilty because 400,000 people died when that bomb was dropped. 400,000.
We're gonna be strong in the process. So people are reading into a lot of aspects right now. We're strong. we're prepared, we're defensive, and President Trump hopes there can be peace.
U.S. Secretary of State Blinken been in Southeast Asia this week, and actually this year is the 70th anniversary of Eisenhower signing the U.S.-Japan agreement, giving you Okinawa, and the U.S. is involved in Venezuela, Africa, Niger, and Mali, apparently against Russia, against China, against Iran. How prepared is the United States for war?
Well, I would say at this point, not terribly well prepared. We're stretched very, very thin around the world. Our armed forces are perhaps smaller than they have been in decades. Although, having said that, we have more general officers and admirals than we've ever had in our entire history, which tells you something about the mental state or condition of the armed forces. Too many chiefs, very few Indians. I don't think we're ready to fight anybody at this point who is really capable. And by that, I mean, we have focused over the last 30 years, certainly since 1991, on fighting opponents without armies, air forces, or navies, certainly no air defenses. Now we confront the very real possibility, not only with Iran and other states in the Middle East, and I would also add potentially Turkey at some point. You've got Russia and China interested in what's happening. They're not going to sit quietly on the sidelines if we truly succeed in bringing on a very large-scale regional war. And it certainly looks as though that's our goal.
Oh, wait, oh, wait, oh, wait. What is really going on around these parts, man? All praises to the ever-present Great Spirit, the creator of suns, moons, and stars. Y'all see what's going on, man. So the question still remains. I mean, you know, there's a lot of us running around here with narratives, you know, fear-mongering for one, and two. Well, man, it's the Most High that's telling Iran to strike Israel, or Israel to strike Iran. The United States getting involved. Here you go thinking it's the creator. It's the Most High creator. And we're here to tell you, no, this is inspired by false gods, deities, and lords, pump faking, camouflaging as if they're the maker of suns, moons, and stars. How is this possible? Real easy. Because without you knowing the character of who we call the creator, without this even being known, anybody can pop up any false god, any evil spirit or evil angel. They got the ability to look how you expect them to look. Answering the name you've been praying in or calling on in your prayer breath. And spiritual powers. They've been in the spirit world longer. You ain't even been there yet. And the ability to do what you perceive as a miracle. Your knees going to be slapping like a naked newborn. And you're going to bow. And you're going to believe this is your maker. See, without you knowing the character of the creator, you already, look, you ain't nothing but being seasoned for the fryer. That's it. You being seasoned. You about to go in that fryer, though. That's where you're going. You feel me? So to understand the character of the creator is very, very, very imperative, man. Like, you can't really say that enough, right? Because if the deity, if what you've been doing is false to a false god, all the rites and ceremonies, all the, you know what I mean, the commandments and everything you claim you've been keeping is irrelevant at this point. If the deity is false, because you thinking the deity is the one inspiring all this carnage. So and we saying it ain't. So if the deity is false, then everything you've been doing, you just been chasing your tail. You know what I mean? But don't worry, we gonna go ahead and clear it up for you. Believe that, know that. You know what I mean? We ain't here, it ain't just doom and gloom. It ain't never that. You dig? We're here to build you and give you something greater. Get you something greater. You dig? We're gonna go into this book called I Speed, Practical Guidebook to the Spirit Life, Sky or Spirit. Very, very interesting book, if you ask me. I've read it. It's a very tall climb. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's over 1,500 pages, but it's a powerful, powerful read. I gotta be real with you. You You know what I mean? It's a powerful, powerful read. And for anybody that's still out there claiming it's a Dr. Seuss book and any of that, well, look, you know, the creative game been outside for like the past 4 years, pressing play on this and putting it into action, whether it's presentations, debates, hot seats, interviews, and we've been smashing it out the park. Very real. Very real. For a point, the whole dynamic of the conscious community has changed. There really ain't nothing else to talk about. Like the elephant in the room, they really swung through and like exposed all the deities as false. So no matter if you're talking about ancestral worship or Buddhism or Hinduism or Christianity or Judaism or, you know what I mean? The voodoo, whatever you're talking about. You did whatever that showed. If you point at the spiritual system, we'll show you the deity behind. That's why to know the creator's character is very imperative in this hour. And we really can't say that enough. You know what I mean? To be honest with you. Can't say that enough because billions of people, if there's 8 billion people on this earth, 99.9% of them have been deceived or currently deceived. We all been there. All right, so let's read some of this real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something. Difference. All right, it says a practical guidebook to the spiritual life. All right, it says you have a corporeal body and a spiritual body. Corporeal, physical, tangible. All right, you have a corporeal body and a spiritual body. Hear me and I'm open your understanding. I come to free not only the corporeal man, but the spiritual man. So this, what we reading thus far, has everything to do with liberation. Zero bondage. Nobody should feel as if they're in bondage. Zero bondage. So the creator ain't even the one that's ordaining the slave. Yet with your freedom, you also attain to responsibility. So that sooner or later, now or then, your fidelity to your creator and to your fellow man, and righteousness, love, and good works shall become the most sacred study of your life. Huh? It's only a matter of time. It ain't even an if with any naysay out there. In the end, all y'all gonna be over it. All y'all gonna be repping the creator. It's only a matter of time. That just said sooner or later. Either now or sometime in the near future or later on down the line, your fidelity, your faithfulness to your creator and to your fellow man. And righteousness, love, and good work shall become the most sacred study of your life. Most sacred than anything that you over here get depressed over right now in school, can't seem to pass. The most sacred study of your life is your faithfulness to your creator and your fellow man, and righteousness, love, and good work. See, if you listen closely, you're learning the system in order of resurrection, salvation. Look at this. Your God does not come in this era as a dictator, but as your elder brother. Hold on, God is the brother. The God and the creator ain't the same. Creator is your father, you're all parents. God is a brother. Good night. That's crazy because I have said ye gods. Right? He was talking to men though. He's talking to men. I have said ye gods. Good night. And God over here saying, but as your elder brother with ample experience, nor do I command saying you shall believe because I, your God, have said it or revealed it in this book. Don't believe none of it. Now, and again, there's a difference between belief and knowledge. You know that's your mama or you believe that's your mama. So you're not having an absolute knowledge of something versus a belief. Belief, if you're still peddling and arguing over belief, there's still a high possibility that you are arguing and peddling and fighting over a lie. You can't spell belief without using L-I. A lie. So if you still don't understand the difference between the absolute knowledge of something and a belief, you already lost the battle. We ain't pumping belief. That ain't what we talking about. We talking about having the absolute knowledge of what it is. I know this, my mom. I don't believe it. I know it. So you don't believe anything because it's written somewhere. You got to get scrutinized and tested. Nevertheless, through our speed, light of Jehovah, the Creator is revealed to man. And man is the judge himself. Yeah. If we judge ourselves, we wouldn't be judged. That's Bible. And labor to save himself. Deliver yourself. Work out your own salvation. That's Bible. And labor to save himself so that by this he may have what? Honor and glory. For the will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led. You're not supposed to be on training wheels your whole life, boo-boo. You're not supposed to be forever led. Sippy cup mode. Gotta hold your hand crossing the street. Look this way, look that way, look that again. Is it clear? All right, come on, let's go. Well, eventually, you progress, you grow, become more and more responsible. You understand? For the will of the Creator is not for man to be forever led, but for man to ultimately have the light, have the ability or the light of practicing good works organically from infancy up. You see that? So that's what we read. If you ain't ever heard of it, that's something we're going to dive into today. And we're going to get an understanding about war. All right? About war. So let me go over here real quick. Show y'all what we about to read. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Ooh-wee. We going into this our people. We going into the book of S. Daughter of the Creator. You about to kill him. Hold on. Shout out to the sisters. You know, man, you ain't. You know, man, you ain't no toilet bowl up this way. Shout out to the daughters of the Creator. Very, very powerful. And look, in their proper capacity, man, they very, very, very powerful. Shout out to the daughters. Shout out to the big sisters. They did, because if there's gods, there's goddesses. There's lords, there's lordesses. You're not supposed to worship them. That's just the title and rank they have. They ain't one-time living. They think the Bible called angels men and all that. And what does your grandmama become when she died? Androgynous? No, she's a female spirit. She's an ancestor. She's an angel. But she's a female, though. So yes, the Creator has sons and daughters. Salute, shout out to the daughters, man. So we're going to go to this book of S right here. Daughter of Creator, being a heavenly history of the earth and her heavens, and of Etheria. That's the heavens outside of the atmosphere, outer space. From 400 years before Cosmine to the dawn of Cosmine. So we're going from 1448 to 1848 at a common era. This is a heavenly record of that, you know what I mean? All right, so look, let's go down here. We're going to go down here to chapter 8. We're going to talk about some, we talking about war. All right? Show y'all some of this, man. Y'all get into that, you know what I mean? It's a gang of sisters actually got some books and all watch. Powerful, too. Powerful reads. Very powerful. Shout out to the sisters. Shout out to the sis stars. All right, let's get into this chapter 8. Book of S. Woo. Show y'all how it go down. Show how this go. You know how vast creation is? For us to even think that it's just the earth and it's a stationary frisbee is beyond crazy to me, but you know, that's just me. So this is the book of S, chapter 8, verse 15. I speed, body blow. Yet, oh God, do not be puffed up with the hope of sudden success. Now remember, God is not the supreme being. God is not the creator. God is a son of the creator. God is a creation. The creator makes God. All right? Yet, oh God, do not be puffed up with the hope of sudden success. I've seen many corporeal worlds arrive at the Cosmine era. Cosmine era is this era that we in on this earth right now. The Cosmine era started in 1848. We almost at the 200-year mark. We'll be 200-year mark 2048. We got a lot of high level, you know what I mean, heavenly activity going on. We shall see. But look what it says right here. It says, I have seen many corporeal worlds, plural with an S, arrive at the Cosmine era. So every world, you need to understand this, every corporeal world or every world that has life and all that, they go through these same cycles that we go through. They have a cosmon era, a time of balance, a halfway mark between the, the creation of mortals down to the extinction. You dig? So look at this. It says, I have seen many corporeal worlds. Dang. This is a high-raised angel talking to God. This is a high-raised Etherean God coming to holler at God, who's the administrator of the heavens and the earth for a season, right? So he telling him, I have seen many corporeal worlds. Look at that. You know how old you gotta be? I have seen many corporeal worlds arrive at the cosmon era. It's like a new birth, brought forth with pain and much labor. So don't be thinking just because you come into a time of high light that everything's gonna be just smody and plush meadows and little house on the prairie. No, much pain, much labor, man. You have several generations of mortals yet to be born before Cosmon comes. So remember, this is in 1448. And I'm saying it because I know the cycles. It's 1448, so he's like about 400 years. You got several generations of mortals yet to be born before Cosmon comes. The four door corners of the lodge were bound upon you to destroy the work of your hand and the creators. The four door corners of the lodge are equivalent to the four false gods. Yeah. So you got your corners when you're dealing in certain esoteric fields. In the corners is the danger, the deities. You know what I mean? Notice what it said, verse 17. It say, the four false gods will fight you to the death. Only after they go down in hell can the Creator's kingdom come. I remember he's speaking from a heavenly point. You dig? And hell wouldn't be beneath them because it's the lower heavens. You know what I mean? So it said right here, on all the planetary worlds, it is always the same. Certain four false gods rise up to possess the corporeal worlds and her heavens. So we got the false Christ, the false Buddha, Brahma, and Allah. These are your four false gods. Owaspi give you the history of them. Give you the whole rundown. You know what I mean? Give you the whole rundown and how everything transpired and kicked off, and it was through this little confederacy called the Triune of the Holy Ghost Confederacy. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. You gotta really get into the history of it. You be like, man, hold on, what? But knows what it keep telling you. This book of Esther, shout out to the sister. It's being stated in here that there are other planetary and corporeal worlds that have the same exact system and order, even down to the false gods that get out of line and want to set themselves up. You feel me? Like, that's wild. It's like, okay, so it ain't just the earth. And when you understand it ain't just that, it's countless worlds, but they are all governed by the same system and order. You dig? And it's always some false gods that tend to get it. And what it is they get up out of the ranks of the Creator and think they can do something better. They don't like how the process is going. So, you lose patience and jump out there. But notice what it says on all S8 and 18, on all the planetary worlds, it is always the same. Certain four false gods rise up to possess the corporeal worlds and her heavens. They will profess truth. Look at this. Because I'm going to tell you, the Creator ain't behind none of this carnage going on in the Mideast. I'm standing on it. I ain't never watering the Creator. That's for what? This is the war of the doctrines of the false gods. Certain four false gods rise up to possess the corporeal worlds and her heavens. They will profess truth, but practice falsehood. Profess peace, but do what? Practice war. This is a product of the false gods, y'all. This is the deities. Deity danger, warning. Boy, this ain't got. So now you can sit back, relax, and say, woo, okay. You dig? Because that's a lot of pressure to have on you to be thinking that the one that you call an Elohim or who in your mind is the supreme omnipotent one of the universe, right? is the architect and author behind all this bloodshed and carnage. Now you can remove it out of your mind. That ain't got nothing to do with the creator. I knew something was up. I knew they had nothing to do with it. They will profess truth but practice falsehood, profess peace but practice war. They will incite mortals and angels to all manner of evil for the sake of thwarting the creator's person and proceedings. Here you go. I can't wait for the missiles to fly. Huh? I can't wait for the chariots to fly. Go ahead and launch them missiles out of them nuclear silos so the Most High can send the chariots out. Huh? Here you go with the whole vibe. So you riding with the vibe and hoping that where you currently lay your head will be bombed. Because in your mind, you think it ain't no way that the Most High gonna allow these bombs to drop, and He don't provide us a way about it in the channel. What I'm here to tell you is, you thinking that this is inspired by the maker of suns, moons, and stars, and Creator Gang is telling you not at all. Huh? No. Wrong again. Huh? Look at this. They will profess truth but practice falsehood. Profess peace but practice war. They will inspire mortals and angels to all manner of evil for the reason of overthrowing the Creator's person and proceeds. Oh, this is a direct hit or attack against the Creator and His chosen. And you want to be chosen, all you gotta do is choose. Huh? Yes, they will even yet assume that they themselves are the Creator. Jehovah, the veritable Creator. They can take on a false God, can take on anything. See, without you knowing the character of the Creator, the false God can come looking exactly how you expect him to look. Answer what you say, Yehovah, Yahuwah, Yahweh Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh. What you say? That's my name. Come looking exactly like you expect him to look. Black man with brass, look like his skin burned in the furnace. A perfectly white gray afro, whites of his eyes red, voice of many waters. And tell you he Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh. And look, all y'all needs gonna be slapping like a naked newborn or something like that. But see, with us, we know better. That ain't the Creator, man. Stop it. You can't see the Creator. Creator's unseen. You can't see the Creator like you see a man, woman, angel, or animal. On top of that, the Creator is ever present, meaning in all space and place at the same time. Who is that? Standing on the mountain over there. Because he's on the mountain. He ain't in Nova Scotia. He ain't in Cape Verde. He ain't in the Congo. He ain't in the Amazon rainforest all at the same time. He's standing on that mountain over there. Well, that can't be the Creator. You can see it. You can see him. And it's not ever present. Well, guess what, y'all? That's not your maker. That's a false. See that? Read it again. S8:19. And can't mess with it. What's the problem? Can't mess with it. What's the problem? Look at this. They will profess truth, but practice falsehood. Profess peace, but practice war. They will incite mortals and angels to all manner of evil for the sake of overthrowing the Creator's person and proceedings. Yes, they will even yet assume that they themselves are Jehovah, the veritable Creator, and they will inspire mortals. Consider them as such. Good night, boy. Ball game. Y'all see why this is the most feared book in the conscious community? Y'all know why? Because it exposes the deities, the false gods, everywhere. Everywhere. It's like, good night, boy. What the hell was I on? Let's chat real quick. You know what I mean? This stuff is real, boy. This stuff is real. Here you go over and talking about some 30 clicking your heels and can't wait for some missiles to fly. No, you need to be over with us. We cancel war with peace. Cancel hate with love. Weapons down. Yeah, but you don't like it because of the way I say it, though. You rather become dry eyes. Diddly do neighbors, you know, hey, hello. No, I don't know no other way but to tell you right to your face, this ain't got nothing to do with the Creator. Nothing. Can't come around here and butter this thing down for you. Say it in smooth soliloquies. No, none of this got nothing to do with the Creator. None of it. Your best bet is to put your peace on the situation and get the hell out the way. And don't go spilling no blood just because another man who stank like you in the morning told you to. See, we say the things you Negroes scared to whisper. And when your people profess the Creator and not them, behold, they will inspire others to fall upon your people, to destroy them, or to torture them with great suffering. So we already know we enemies of the state or enemies of these false gods. You don't think we know this? We already know we public enemy number one. Like we're the plagues to your kingdom. What they call the four horsemen. Huh? Look, what we talk. Look, you got war. You got horsemen of war, famine, dictatorship, and death. But actually, it's that to the false gods and their kingdom. It ain't to the greatest kingdom. So why would a false god think we talking about war when we talking about peace? Because peace destroys his doctrine and his kingdom. You see? The four horses or the four horsemen in the Revelation is a plague. They are a plague to the false gods and their kingdom. Yeah. Shout out to my brothers, the four horsemen. How do you cancel war? It's a horse of war with peace. Become peace. Huh? How do you cancel dictatorship? We teach liberty. Well, how do you teach against famine? We teach communal living and all things are common. How do you teach against the death of it? We teach life. Death for sure is coming, but the death to their kingdom. When we coming through bringing all this light and exposing the deities and all that, that's death for them. The four horsemen are a plague to the false gods and their kingdoms, not to the Creator. Shout out to the four horsemen, man. Again, verse 21. Nevertheless, it shall come to pass with you that the Creator shall triumph over all the earth and in the heavens of the earth. Men and angels shall be free, and no one shall make them afraid. So again, y'all, it's just a matter of time. It ain't even no if. We hear everybody running their chops right now, talking crazy. You know what I mean? We already hear that. But see, we already know. Look, you can't stop the light of the Creator. It's impossible. It's impossible. So it's just a matter of time. Y'all gonna be screaming CGG, Creator gang. Y'all be saying Creator. Look, all those who fancy themselves as our ops are already saying Creator now. All of them. All your favorite Israelites, all your favorite Christians. You know what I mean? You know why? Because bros jumped outside and pressed play on this. The presence, the ever presence of the Creator is what we declare to you. Ever present. So if you can see, ever present and unseen. So if your God is seen or has been seen, and it's worshipped, that's a false God. Ooh-wee, because a God, you dig, is gonna come declaring the glory of his maker. First thing off the bat, declaring the glory of the Creator too. He ain't coming to shoot the breeze with you, play with you, tiptoe to the tools, none of that. He like, look, we both gotta make it. And his presence I declare too. Prophet in my wisdom and be admonished in my love. I'm like you. Where you at, I was there. Where I'm at, you gonna be. You see? So peace to the gods and goddesses, man. You dig? The true ones. The ones that know better than all that. You ain't no worshiping. You don't worship no God or no goddess or no savior or no tyrant. All that's to the creator. There ain't no Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. It's the great spirit. That's the creator. See, y'all hear that? You feel that hit different, don't it? Yeah. Look at this. Lita Bakatrava. That's the name of one of your Ethereum ancestors. It sounds like some Star Wars. Ceased and sat down, and suddenly a great shining light gathered above his head, and a voice spoke out of the light, saying, so this is an Ethereum God, right? That visits the heavens of the earth with all his millions of people with him, all millions of high-raised ancestors, right? To holler at God, because God is in charge of earth and her heavens that travel with the earth or the atmosphere. So you got millions of high-raised ancestors coming holler at God, true God, a son of the creator, the big ruler of heaven and earth for a certain amount of time. So then the high-raised Ethereum bro or God, he ceased, he stopped talking his own words and sat down. And suddenly a great shining light gathered above his head. Okay, and a voice spoke out of the light saying, now, the creator, remember, it's unseen. Lita Bakatrava ain't the creator, he just an ancestor. The voice speaking out of the light is the creator. And again, the angels ain't never seen him, man ain't never seen him. Good night. All the earth is mine. Look what the creator tell you, boy. Huh? All the earth is mine, and the waters, and the earth, body earth. These are members of my body and person. Do y'all heard this? Y'all heard this? Good night. That deal say all the earth is mine. Okay, and the waters. Okay, and the earth, body earth. All the elements, all creation is the creator. Look what he's saying. These are members of my body and person. So it matters how you treat creation. Look at this. Let's say right here. Man, I created not to possess them, not to possess the earth, not to possess the waters, not to possess the body earth. Man, I created not to possess them, but to dwell on them and in them. To all men alike, I gave these inheritances, nor to any man apart, nor to any nation or people apart. Flat out, right? We all got the right to enjoy the creator's creation. You wasn't made to be a landlord and own this. Yeah, you mean you own the earth, or you own the water, or you own the earth. Man wasn't created to possess none of this so he can get rich off you. To all men alike, I gave these inheritance. This is your birthright. To enjoy the creator's creation. That's your birthright. All men have this, right? It say, nor to any man apart, nor to any nation apart, but with liberty, which means freedom. That's the opposite of slavery. But with liberty and privilege to these, I gave man the right to draw sustenance and support. Look at that. There you go, going to people's land and slaying them to possess it. What would Creator say? Matter of fact, hold on. Let me drop this link in case y'all hop on, man. Pop out for a second. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. I'm about to put the link in the chat, man. Over just, I can't wait for the nuclear missiles to fly. So we can get gathered by the chariots. really a Hebrew form of the rapture. That's what it sounds like to me. It's just a Hebrew form of the rapture. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man. It ain't nothing to be all weird about. It's just what it is. I just put the link in the chat if anybody want to hop on, man. Pop out. It's really like a freestyle. Jumped on her and, you know, today chop it up with the people. I need to go grab this. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me go grab this watermelon juice. If y'all get some understanding so far, drop a 3,000 in the chat. Let me go grab my juice real quick. Let's get it. I'm going to juice the watermelon in this spot. Last of two. See these 3,000s. Character of the creators is very, very important. All loving, all powerful, all knowledge, fills all space and place, and yet unseen like you see man. I want to go look at the creator, you got to go look at his creation. And that's why we supposed to see that divine spark within each other, because we all are part of the same creation. You feel me? That's why the creator like, nah, you ain't supposed to be killing nothing I created. Nothing. Woo. Woo. But we live in a culture where it ain't nothing but death. It's just death. And you desensitized to it. You know what I mean? Shout out to my Ak. Let me holler at my Ak for a minute. Mayaka Allah in the building. Peace to the CGG. What's the word, bro?
Man, what's the word? Man, I'm just out here moving and sack, man.
Hold on, man. You gotta turn up, man. You gotta turn your mic up or something. You sound far away.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, but you said, hold on.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. There you is.
Okay, cool. Man, I'm just out here moving and sack, man. Hey, man, you just brought that out, bro, and I thank you for that, man, because something in this chapter I've been looking for a while. You get what I'm saying? Can you hear me?
Say that one more. Say right there. Last thing I heard was for a while. You said something and you went out.
Man, I'm gonna have to unplug you.
There you go. There you go. Right there. There you go.
Okay, cool. I'm just my phone is connected to my car, man. But no, man, you just brought that chapter out, man. There's something in that chapter I've been looking for a while, and so I kept reading along as you were reading, and I found it. So thank you, bro. I just want to step on and tell you thank you, Ak.
Hey, man, it's all good, bro. You know what I mean? And man, we out here putting down the difference between the creator and the deity. That's it.
Yeah, man, and you know the thing is, man, everything that's going on right now has been going on in the lower heavens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything is inspired. You know what I'm saying? So, dang, it's crazy, man, because, you know, I be trying to feed this to a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? So, man, give all praise to the Great Spirit, man.
Hey, man, but look, eventually they gonna get it. You know what I mean? It's only a matter of time, huh? It ain't no ducking this. It's only a matter of time. You all good, though?
Yeah, man, we good, man.
I see you out there, boy, looking spodio, looking like you got that sauce on, boy.
Boy. Yeah, man, I'm just moving. I'm about to park somewhere real quick, man, so I can focus real quick. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, you know, I just want to get on real quick. It was my little opportunity to get on and, you know, tell you thank you, bro, for bringing this lesson out real quick. Because this helped me out real quick. Helped me find what I've been looking for, bro. Yeah. And, yeah, it's a lot of things. I've been trying to find this so I can show this to a lot of people. Yeah. Especially my loved ones out here in SAC, man. You know, I think it's all good that we could just continue to, you know, do whatever we want to as far as like what we want to put down our throats and things like that, man. And sit around and call other people heathens and pagans and shit like that. You know what I mean? My bad.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I mean? So I just want to, show certain people that, and at the end of the day,
But
we all living like this.
but look, my Yak, we all done been there, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My bad, brother.
I used to be calling them pagans and heathens and all type of stuff. Now realizing, boy, the way you operate, you the biggest one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, let me finish reading some of this though. Check this out. Check this out. Why I got you. And if you can mute, I hear some feedback. So mute something. But look at this right here, y'all. Look what Greta said. Greta say, "All men are my children." Oof. See, so over this way, you got to come up off your religious or your superiority high horse. You got to come up off that over this way. All men are my children. In the conscious being, I created them alike. Privileged to all the earth and the waters of the earth and the air and the firmament above the earth. You see? Brothers and sisters, I created them of various tribes, races, colors, and sizes. But nevertheless, in my own way, I created them. Everyone for a glory in the way I made him. You see? So for you to go and just, regardless if you following orders or you just on some type of impulse, and for you just to go snatch that away. You know what I mean? No, Jack, you owe that back to the board. Greater say, I created all my children alike. All men are my children. He the one that created them into conscious being. I created them. And you have a birthright to all the earth, a birthright to the waters, a birthright to the air above the earth. You see that? So if this is the case, we know all the warfare that's being inspired ain't got nothing to do with the creator, the God maker. Nothing. Nothing. We in the wrong spirit talking about we can't wait for the chariots to fly and the missiles to fly. You in the wrong spirit saying that. And trip off this. One thing the deities know that Negroes still kind of ain't figured out yet is this, man. Your mind is so powerful that whatever you dwell on long enough becomes your reality. If you're talking war and dwelling on war, and guess what's coming? War is coming. You dig? So we supposed to put our peace on it, like cancel war with peace, right? And focus on a righteous reality. But you put your piece on it and never get so caught up in it and focused on it because you're gonna be adding that to that vibration. War. You look up, it's more bloodshed. And these are all the creator's children. Think about it. You got the Israelis, Benjamin Netanyahu and them, are bombing Palestinians, bombing Iranians as if they're inferior to him. As if they inferior to him. Look at this. And y'all, we about to run right up on what the mark of the beast is. You see, because all that's revelation flow, right? Look at this. In the early days, behold, I kept man on certain continents and places so that I could unfold him in the glory for which I designed him. But in Cosmos, in the current era, I open the gates of the oceans, seas, and rivers. And I say to all my people, come forth. Behold your brethren. Go into this country and into that, and learn wisdom from that which I approved in the family of my house. Be profitable to one another in the experience and practice of my hand upon all peoples, not just Israelites. All peoples. All peoples. What we talking about is a benefit to all. You see that? So if quote unquote black folk is part of the all, then it's beneficial for you too. If Chinese folk is a part of the all, then it's beneficial for them too. You see? No, a Negro get mad because you finding out that the creator ain't just exclusive to you. All are his children. All have the right to tap in. All are not beyond redemption. Just behavior got to change, man. We got a lot of mess we got to clean up. But nonetheless, you ain't beyond it. In one tallness, and another shortness, in one sound teeth and bones and well-formed limbs, and another sagacity, in one a dense population and well-tilled lands, and another plain food and long life. For in Cosmon, man shall go abroad into all countries. Ain't that what we doing now? You got passports and all type of stuff. Man shall go forth into all countries, one nation with another, and they shall profit by wisdom, to bring forth a new race with all the glory selected from the whole. It would sound like all of us mixed up. So the doctrine of racial superiority need to go out the room. There ain't no pure-blooded nothing. You're not. You're not. You're not. No, it don't matter where you at. You're not. Especially if you're in the Americas. No. It ain't no way. Look at this. Verse 30. Neither shall man be bound anymore by the doctrines of this God or that God, or by this Savior or that Savior, nor by any of the ancient books, nor by inspirations of past times. But he shall know how to obtain inspirations from my gods in my heavens for his own good and for his own wisdom. See, you're not depending on nobody to get it done for you. You go do it, man. You go do it, depending on no priest, no moray, no elder, no pastor, no bishop, no deacon soft shoe. You ain't got to wait for nobody to pray for you. Get it done. The Creator is as near today as he was in the ancients. Just put yourself in order. You know what I mean? Stop being a misfit all your life and scandalous. Just be good, man. That's all you need to do. Be good, do good. You know what right and wrong is. Get to it. Huh? Because in this era, we don't need the priest and the rosary beads and the media. You don't need all. He shall know how to obtain inspiration from my gods and my heavens for his own good. This is what the Creator is saying. In the Cosmon era, man gonna know how to obtain inspirations from my sons or my gods I've set up and my heavens for his own good and for his own wisdom. A lot of spiritual communion going on lately, right? In a time where everybody claim they talking to spirit. Okay. You just need to know who you talking to, and if it's benevolent for you or malevolent against you. You see? You can't be gullible and all vulnerable and weak in spirit. You tripping. You dig? As many scandalous people as it is, it's double or triple spirits on the same type of time. It's more spirits of the dead than it is people on this earth. You see? Verse 31, neither shall one nation judge another and cry out heathen, nor one people judge another and cry out pagan. But ain't that what we see with these wars? And ain't that what we see with my, Israelite for life, dealing with my Israelite brother? You heathen, you pagan, you fish lip heathen. Huh? You yeti, you pagan. Huh? You're getting old, though, ain't it? Getting old. Same redundant scriptures, same redundant talking points. Getting old. It's getting boring for a lot of you. Don't be far you're going to go dealing with a false God. Remember, his whole point is to make you a slave of his. So once you cross over, you can further augment and build up his kingdom. Look at 32. Behold, I alone shall judge. My mark is upon all those that engage in war. Huh? You know, argue what the mark of the beast is. You're saying the mark of the beast is on all those that engage in war, or who keep warriors, or who keep forts and arsenals and use weapons of death, and upon all who kill and eat the flesh of anything I created alive. For all such are pagan and heathen in my sight. Good night. Good night, boy. He's saying the warmongers and the flesh eaters are pagan and heathen. The warmongers and the flesh eaters are the ones that have the mark of the beast. Oh, really? Really? Oh, we. And here you go arguing over something else. That makes 99.9% of the world up under the vibration of the false gods. If y'all understand that the mark of the beast is warfare, the mark that it's talking about is warfare and flesh chewing on animals and warfare. If you understand that that's the mark of the beast, man, y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat for your little brother, man. Easy work.
Yo, I clearly understand that. This is right here what I was looking for. You dig what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And I'm guilty of all this stuff too, because I used to be out there calling other people heathens and looking at, you know, all that's pagan. But really, man, I've been talking about myself the whole time until the day I got off eating flesh.
Yeah, same here. That's why you know, I can't be mad. I ain't even mad or judgmental. You dig? It come off bold because that's me, but I ain't even mad and judgmental with nobody what it is because I was there. You know what I mean? I wasn't just there. I'm one of the frontliners, like there. You know what I mean? So I understand. I really do. I understand what it is. You understand? I understand the anger, the frustration, the uncertainty, the fear. I understand it all. I understand. You dig? But here, we're here to give you something greater. And let you know, man, you put that fear away. You know what I mean? You can put that fear away because we coming in what? Certainty, security. You can put that hate away. We coming in love. You can put that war away. We coming.
Yeah, we coming to give and bring the creator. You dig?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Give you something greater, which is the old creator. Ooh-wee. 32 again. Behold, I alone shall judge. My mark is upon all those that engage in war or who keep warriors or who keep forts and arsenals. Look at that. Huh? That would include your boy Donald Trump that everybody was snotting over and crying over. That would include Donald Trump. That would include Barack Obama, Sleepy Joe Biden, Vladimir Putin. Name Vladimir Putin. Zelensky in Ukraine. It don't matter what you're talking about. The princes of Dubai, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, wherever you're talking about. I alone shall judge. My mark is upon all those that engage in war. So that's all the countries. Everybody got standing armies, don't they? And weapons of death. You already got the mark of the beast. You already lockstep and healed. You with it, right? The greatest country ever, and then going to the military. And go kill some innocent civilians and come eat a longhorn steak. Attaboy. You already got it. You've been conditioned. You've been prepped. You know what I mean? To act like an animal. My mark is upon all those that engage in war or who keep warriors or who keep forts and arsenals. Come on, man. Come on, man. And use weapons of death. What was we just saying? What was we just saying? Missiles flying. Bombs dropping. People dying. Huh? No country involved in any of that is innocent. Not at all. Not at all. And upon all who kill and eat the flesh of anything I created alive. Good night. For all such are pagan and heathen in my sight. So we ain't even, we understand what a pagan and a heathen is, or someone who has the mark of the beast. They're those who are into warfare, bloodshed, and chewing on animals. Good night. Verse 33, look at this. Look at this. Nor shall they go from nation to nation to find evil, but to find goodness, wisdom, and virtue. Look at this verse 34. My God shall minister to all nations and peoples to these ends, to bring them together in peace and harmony. See what the Creator's, program is about? All nations getting together in peace and harmony, not the warfare, not none of that you're talking about. To open the ports of those who have been secluded nations and peoples, to persuade them to put away war, weapons down, and the glory of destruction, to make nations and peoples acceptable to one another. And remember, this is the Creator speaking through the light in front of all his sons and daughters, these high-raised gods and goddesses. And he just told you what the methodology is, what the game plan is. This is what it is right here. The voice of the light ceased, and all about the throne of God was like a sea of golden fire. Oh, wait. So I went there first to show that the war is not the warfare and the carnage and all of that is not nowhere near inspired by the Creator at all. That's why I went there. I want to show that. You did, and to show if you in that type of vibration, you already a heathen and a pagan and got what the Bible calls the mark of the beast. You already got it. It's already there. You know what I mean? It's just running on automatic now. That's it. Let's go to the book of the Creator. The Creator's book, Jehovah chapter 8. Show y'all something. If y'all get some understanding, y'all drop a 1,000 in the chat, man. You know what I mean? Let's make sure we get some edification and understanding. Show y'all what it is. Now, CGG gonna tell you that the Creator ain't got nothing to do with these wars. Race wars. The Israel and Iran, Israel, Palestinians, Ukraine and Russia, China and North Korea and Iran and the BRICS and man, look, I get tired of even talking about all that. You dig? Because I know this ain't got nothing to do with our maker. Nothing. Why am I use fire? Ain't got nothing to do with the Creator. Ain't got nothing to do with the God maker. Nothing. Nothing. You just all in the spirit of warfare, clicking your boots. Nah. They can't wait for America to go down. Where you gonna be at? You gonna be right here. Some nuclear missiles get launched from the silos. You gonna be right here. Oh, you gonna go gadget and grow some wings and flap about here. Oh, no. You supposed to be in Israel though, right? You supposed to be within his borders. You dig? Well, they bombing there too. And our family that's there ain't got whisked away in no chariot. No, they be having to relocate. When them bombs got to dropping last year over where brother met? Over in I want to say Mitzpah, maybe Mitzpah Ramon. It was one of them where the bombs got to drop. You did drop right over his apartment building. Ain't no chariot showed up and got them up, and they in the land, and this is happening. You see? No, you're not supposed. Any spirit or vibration of war is not of our maker at all, y'all. That's what I'm trying to show you. At all. All right. Now look what Jehovah is telling some more of his sons and daughters right here in the book of Jehovah. We got a book of Yahweh or a book of Jehovah in a watch. Look what he's telling some of his sons and daughters. Some other high-raised angels. You know what I mean? This is at the beginning of this current crop of man. He letting them know because, they played a role in this too. All right, so he telling you, he telling them, he said, the angels under you shall become at times rebellious and defiant. Rebellious and defiant. disregarding your laws and decrees. And they shall desert your heavenly places and go down to the earth in millions and hundreds of millions. And they shall drive away the Ashars and then assume guardianship over mortals. But they shall develop no righteousness under the sun. And they will inspire mortals to what? War. War. These are false gods. Evil angels. This ain't the creator. And they will inspire mortals to war and destruction, like we just saw the maps of Iran being destroyed. And these angels will themselves take to war and evil throughout the place of your heaven. So it's popping, like Brennan says, it's popping in the lower heavens. If it's on earth, if war them broke out on earth in the lower heavens, they warring. But notice, it ain't the creator inspiring man to go to war. Remember this. Because you about to lick your fingers and call yourself thumbing through prophecy. And then who you call the Lord God, you're assuming is the supreme being, the creator, right? But it's telling you that it's the God inspiring. Huh? Using the nations like a puppet master. Look at it. With the foul gases of atmosphere, they shall make weapons of war and places of torment. With these elements, they shall make suffocating hells in order to cast one another into what? Chaos. It is war in the heavens. They use the elements in the heavens to make weapons of war and hells, places of torments. Master the elements. Look at this. And mortals slain in war shall be born in spirit into chaos on the battlefields. Look at that. So if I asked you what happened to the spirit of those slain in war, now you know. Their chaotic spirits birthed into the spirit world on the battlefields, and entering the spirit world in chaos, they shall not know that they are dead as the earth life, but shall still keep fighting right and left. Look at this. This is the condition of the spirits of those slain in war. What happens? You produce chaotic spirits. And these cats keep fighting. They don't even know they dead. So they still banging from thousands of years ago. Don't even know. It's chaotic. Spirits of war. See, that's the wrong spirit to be in. Stay far from a violent man. Stay far away from a contentious or a violent man. A forward man. Stay away from that. Stay away from that. His inspiration is that of the false ones. You see? Anger rests in the bosom of fools. Like, you know, somebody that claim they can't control themselves, control their anger and all that, you better get the hell away from that. An enemy shall take enemy in these heavens and cast them into the places of torment. You out there putting that pistol on your enemy, little joker, he waiting on you. You ain't got away with nothing. It ain't gonna be God to throw you in the hell. It's gonna be that enemy, that op that you slid on and killed, waiting on you. Spirit retaliation. Spirit retaliation, waiting on you. Your boy 051 kiddo just pissed on King Von Gray. Yeah, spirit retaliation, waiting on you. King Von was dishing FBG Duck after he died and was laughing. Yeah, boy, that spirit answered back quick, didn't it? 8 weeks later, out of here. Don't forget about your boy Julio Fulio and all them cats down in Florida. Yeah, pissing on graves and all that. Boy, out of here. Out of here. You're not supposed to be cursing the dead. They can hear you. And they get the right to activate and do all that. Right? You've been out here killing, your enemy is waiting on you. Now imagine what's waiting on somebody like an Adolf Hitler. Or what was waiting on him, or what's waiting on a Donald Trump. Can you imagine, boy? That's the reality of it. The creator or a true God, they don't throw you in no hell. In essence, hell is a place that you create for yourself to be tormented based off your actions while you was living. They create suffocating hells out of the gases of the atmosphere, catch you when you a newborn babe in spirit and say, God is one. There he is. And he's still angry at you from you killing him all them years ago. He has the ability to catch you and to torment you and to cast you into hell. Good news is you're going to be there forever. You know what I mean? And then both of y'all got to work to get out your condition that y'all in. Y'all work together, actually. So actually killing somebody binds you to them. That's why I'm like, look, leave me alone. Leave me alone. This is the reality of it. Warfare and all that, y'all, is inspired by the false gods. Verse 8, and the work of your heaven shall become as nothing. You shall go about delivering hells and the spirits in chaos, and your labor shall become exhausted. Truly, you should cry out because you came and people of the earth. Good night. For I have also created this possibility for my creation so that both angels and mortals shall learn to know the elements of the heavens and the earth and to know the trials of love and misfortune. Ooh-wee. The trials of love. You want to talk about that, boy? Good night, boy. Everybody been through some type of trial of love and misfortune. But remember, you go through your darkness so you can learn, so you can become resilient, so you can learn to master creation elements. Yeah, that's the whole point of it. We go through our dark phases in life, we tend to cry out, and it don't feel good, but we're not realizing this is the time for us to straight up master, to really link in and master the elements. You know what I mean? Happening, you got limited resources or no resources, boy, that willpower kick in, that desire. Once you activate that, you know what I mean, things start manifesting. You see? And see, the high-raised ancestors, they got that down packed. They can just focus on something and it manifests. They don't got money. Angels don't spend Federal Reserve debt notes. They don't spend big head Ben Franklins to get something done. They're advanced ancestors. They know how to communally, how to collectively together focus on something. They know how to control them elements and get it done. Whether it's building a fire ship that holds 4 million souls, or creating a throne to sit on, or creating a new heavenly plateau, or whatever they got to do. Right? They collectively do it through focus and desire and manifestation. That's how I come forth. You know what I mean? Look at this. And see, so, and that's the skill that we are developing. That's a skill that we all have one day. You know what I mean? But that's the purpose of you going through your dark periods and dark spots in life. We all go through them. They don't feel good at times to be like, man, ain't no way out of this deal. It did, but you got to be resilient to come up out of there and ask the Creator to guide you. I'm coming out of this. No, I ain't stopping her. Guide me, need you. You know what I mean? Look at this. Nor have I made wisdom. Look what this say right here. It says, nor have I made wisdom possible to any man or angel who does not know my elements and the extremes of evil and good which I created. See, evil and darkness and any of that ain't going nowhere. You gotta know how to deal with it, though. You gotta know how to, you know what I mean? You gotta know how to deal with it and move around without succumbing to the darkness or the evil. It ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? It ain't going nowhere. You just gotta know how to deal with it without being subjected to it. All right, verse 11. So after the darkness come the light, right? But in the times of great darkness, which shall come upon earth and these heavens, I will bring the earth into Dana, the beginning of a new arc cycle. And my Ethereum shall come in my name and deliver them. See that? So time of great light is on the way, man. You dig? So, and that's just life period. We go through our light, our periods of light and our periods of darkness. You dig? Look what verse 12 say. And it says, and again for another cycle, they shall be left with the lessons given to them. But they shall fall again in course of time. But again, I will deliver them through my gods and goddesses. I will cause them to comprehend the magnitude of my creation. So what Creator is letting it be known is the rise and fall of man, or man going through his light and darkness, and the earth traveling through her light and darkness, and things that happen that perceive so, you know what I mean, devastating. You dig? It's all a lesson for us to learn. And it's there for us to learn how to master the elements and all that. And we actually supposed to be collectively offsetting that war. Like getting together collectively and focusing and putting all our energy over there with peace to break that whole spirit of war. Not to sit back and watch and say, ooh, get your popcorn. No, y'all supposed to be breaking that up. You know what I mean? Y'all supposed to be breaking that up and get her done. All right, let me see how we looking. We all good? Love, light, balance in the name of the Creator. Let's look at this over here. I want to go over here to the Book of Judgment real quick. All right, y'all get some understanding. Y'all drop a 4,000 in the chat. This OISP hit hard. War is not sanctioned by the Creator at all. These are false gods. Now you know that if you out here, especially any young joker listening, man, if you out here spilling blood, killing, your enemy waiting on you, boy. Y'all gonna have to win. Y'all gonna have to work together to get out of that situation, but not before he torments you and throw you in what's called hell for a season. You have to do some heavy convincing, both of y'all, because until y'all decide to rise up and look at each other as the brothers y'all are and the sisters y'all are, both y'all bound and stuck. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh wait. I'm gonna read all that. Oh wait. Good night. Yeah, see, you have to read all that. That's top level right there, straight classic. We're gonna go to the Book of Judgment, chapter 32. God, as Son of the Creator, judges against war. Oh wait, oh wait, oh wait. Shout out to my brother Karam in the building. What's the word, Karam? Hey, brother. Lawrence Burton in the building. Shout out to the CGG. Shout out to the CGG, man. Love, light, balance. Y'all know what time it is, man. Let's get into some of this and we'll jump up off here. Been on here about 2 hours chopping it up with the fam. It's always good to chop it up with the fam, y'all. Remember that. Always good, man. Good. Make sure we spotty out. We did holler at my brother Mayak earlier. Mayak jumped on. Easy work, easy work. Easy work, easy work. All right, let's get this right. Shout out to my brother Hope Shea of Israel in the building. The whole world gonna get this one day. Yeah, it don't be seeming like nobody listening, to be honest. But you sit back and peep, like, dang, they screaming Creator now. Okay. Yeah. God judges against war. God said, now behold, O man, I have declared to you my first and second resurrections to you. And in like manner is the third resurrection. Uh-oh. Might know about the third one. But still higher, and so on, for all the heavens of the Creator. Higher and higher. Until the inhabitants of them become very lords and gods. Ball game. Ball game. Wait. You ain't heard nothing evil yet. You ain't heard nothing evil yet. Huh? You out here getting your wig blown by all this high revelation. You ain't heard nothing evil. You ain't heard nothing sanctioning warfare, bloodshed. You ain't even heard it. anything light to inspire you to, you know what I mean, rise up and become better, if anything. See that? So the heavens are there higher and higher until you become lords and gods. Good night. So God is what is something, or who you become. God is not who you pray to. God is who you become. God, a goddess is who you become, sister. You know what I mean? It ain't who you pray to. Ooh, wee. We got another visitor in the link. Who we got here? We got my brother Young Prince in the building. What's the word, Prince?
Peace to the fan band, peace to the world, man, peace on earth, man, in the name of the great spirit. What's good, big bro?
Man, hey man, I heard you dropping some light bombs. You know nothing but you regular. What's up with you?
Oh man, shit, just tapping in to check out what you was on today.
Oh yeah, man. Just everybody in the spirit of fear and warmongering and can't wait for the bombs to drop. And
man,
I know y'all don't think this has anything to do with the creator. What you think, bro? Talk to me.
Man, first of all, we already know that war is the mark of the beast, man. That right there is so potent to understand. You gotta know that coming from Jaja. He ain't no warmonger. He ain't out here inspiring hatred amongst people and bloodshed and casting spirits into chaos. Man, come on, man. It's crazy that we seeing this shit right now happen right before our eyes, and we conscious of what it is. So many people think that this is some type of a good thing according to prophecy coming to fruition or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, it's just, I'm thankful to Creator to not be twisted up, and I got at least a little bit of light on what's going on with the situation.
Yeah, real spirit. It feels good to be not that's caught up in that. It puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah,
it puts
man.
a lot of pressure on you. You know what I mean? Because one breath you gotta be about peace, but in the second breath you gotta be like, yeah, man, God calls the Israelis to bomb the Iranians or vice versa. Because the people say the Persians is going. It's like, bro, war begets war. Whatever you put out answers right back.
Yeah.
War answers war, peace answers peace.
Exactly. And it gives us a chance to do our due diligence in counterbalancing the war energy that's in the air once we do our part. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. We're supposed to counter that we're supposed to counter war with peace.
Exactly.
I mean, we are supposed to be collectively saying, I cancel war with peace.
Come on, bro.
I cancel hate with love. Because peace and love are two forces that are more powerful.
Man, I heard a statistic that said, I don't know how real it is, but it said that one person vibrating in peace can offset like 500,000 that's vibrating in the spirit of war and hatred. Just one person.
I bet that's true.
Yeah, I heard it.
You got to put your righteous intention out there and put it on there, man. You know what I mean? So any Israelites listening, you know the Creator, God's maker, the maker of suns, moons, and stars, has never condoned or declared any of this warfare.
And it's crazy that Owaspy is like one of the only book I ever read, man, that actually says that. Every other spiritual text that's coming forward is usually a deity that is down with warfare in some way, shape, or form. Owaspy is the only book that said Creator is not with that war. He is not a warmonger. He ain't a man of war. Yeah. He's not a man at all. It's the only book saying that. So I'll sometimes I'll just be sitting back thinking like, this must be a time of higher light. Because if a little Negro like me can come into this understanding like without a thought, like Jaja just illuminated it in my mind to make perfect sense. Like, and I know we ain't the only ones. It's hundreds of thousands of people on the same vibration, but it's just good that there are some people out there that's not with the warfare. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a.
It's a lot less stress and pressure on you, man. Look, put all that aside. The Creator never tell you to kill your children or any children. Or any
never. Come on,
Creator
man.
never tell you to go vote for some death penalties and go out there and slide on your ops and go bomb innocent civilians. That's not the
man. They just gave. I just heard on the radio this morning they gave somebody the death penalty out here in South Carolina.
Yeah, like bro, this stuff. Look, we about to read. We about to read it, man. Look,
Yeah, go ahead.
You lawmakers, you generals, you commodores, everybody's responsible. You know what I mean? You ain't got rid of nothing. Here, I'm gonna read some of this. Stay on if you want to, bro. I'm gonna read some of it.
All right, go ahead.
Look what it say. It say right here. This Judgment 32. This is Judgment 32. I'm gonna start at verse 1. Again, now behold, O man, I have declared my first and second resurrections to you. And in like manner, the third resurrection is still higher. So on all the heavens of Jehovah, higher and higher, until the inhabitants of them become very lords and gods. Nevertheless, hear, O man, the wisdom of your God, and be appreciative of the way of resurrection being opened up to you. You appreciate this. Catch this game I'm throwing up. Catch a little bit of this game I got for you. I'm your old brother. Peep this. Verse 3. Now I declare to you, there are angels lower than the first resurrection, being incapacitated by various causes, knowing who they are, where they came from, or where they are going. Indeed, many of them do not know words of speech, nor signs, nor tokens, but are as destitute of knowledge as young babies. Then everybody ain't high raised. Look at this, verse 4. Many of them died in infancy. Some of them were killed by who? Abortion. Some of them were idiots, and some of them deranged. So you got those who died early, young, and they entered the heaven. They entered the spirit world just as even as they was in the physical world. They don't know that. They died too young. See, look at this. Many of these live by fetal. What is fetal? That's a spirit that attaches to you. Many of these live by fetal. And so that you may know what fetal is, behold, Jehovah has given you testimony and immortality, such as when a young child sleeps with a very old person. That child is devoured of his substance. In such a case, the old person is fetal on the young child. The old person is said to live by fetal. I heard, O man, the judgment of your God. Half the people born into the world, including stillbirths and abortions, die in infancy. Woo.
Half
the people in the world die in infancy.
That's deep.
Therefore, there are 1 billion angel infants fetaled on the earth every 30 years. Good night, boy.
Good night. Sleep tight, man. That's crazy.
Every 30 years, 1 billion angel infants fetaled on the earth, man. Woo. What it say about these angels? What it say about it? These angels never obtain objective knowledge of the physical or the corporeal earth. They are compelled to learn earthly things subjectively through mortals upon whom they got the mortals they attach to. That's how they learn about a physical or corporeal life.
Right. That's deep right there, man, because now we got a responsibility. Don't it say that coming up somewhere in there?
Yeah. So even if you got an abortion or paid for an abortion, you dig, and this spirit of heaviness always come over you and all that. That's actually the spirit of that child attaching to you. Because guess what? You're still responsible for his life. You see that? You might as well not even get the abortion. You're still responsible for this little joke. Now you over here walking around with a spirit of heaviness, not knowing why, feeling depressed. That's that spirit of that child you murdered. And it has to attach to you to learn or to have a physical experience. But they're going to learn it subjectively because they're not getting their own, because you robbed them of it. But they still must have some type of experience dealing with a corporeal earth. So these angel infants return and fetal attached to those mortals on the earth, just so they can get some type of knowledge of this earth. You see that? Judgment is rendered against all nations and peoples on the earth for this great darkness. Oh
boy. Oh boy.
These early deaths, because these angels are thus bound immortals and cannot go away from them until such time as mortals die. Look at that. That spirit said that baby you aborted, is with you until you die.
Yes, sir.
That abortion you paid for, bro, with you until you die.
Yeah, man. That's actually kind of a beautiful picture, though, the way Creator did that.
Yeah.
Cause he didn't leave the baby without their parents, even though their parents ain't necessarily conscious of their presence. The baby, you know who mama and daddy still is. That's beautiful.
Yeah, nor the parents without responsibility, because they got a spirit of heaviness on them. They got pressure on them.
Right.
That's as if this little joke was in. You got to feed them, you got to clothe them. So it's getting all this experience from or they're supposed to get for the earth from you.
Right.
And it ain't going away from them until such time as mortals die. Mortals are responsible and bound to train them by examples of righteousness and good works to rise up. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But at least there's some type of redemption for it.
Right.
It ain't like you going to hell to hang by your eyelids for the rest of your years without for the rest of the eternity. No.
All right.
No. There's redemption for the infants that died, or the babies that died in infancy. There's redemption for them, and for those who caused their deaths.
All right.
So no one's beyond redemption.
Man, I'll never forget the first time I heard that Selah was talking about that. It brought tears to my eyes, man, because that was one of the main reasons why I thought Orosky was dope when I first read about it, because it talked about what happens to infants that die in infancy.
Yeah.
And I had never heard that before. And my first wife had a miscarriage that tore me up for a long time.
Yeah.
But that brought me comfort to know that my baby was fetal on me for a while. Still may be every now and then, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Man, look, the Creator is marvelous, and his whole redemptive work and plans, and man, the whole program is off the chain, bro.
Man, what? Ain't no joke.
Y'all shout out to our brother Selah Shalom to the chat. Y'all go like, subscribe, share.
Yeah.
Go to his playlist. Get
Salute.
Play. You know what I mean? Shout out. Selah, hop on if you want to. Hop on if you want to, bro. Drop this in the chat. We have to holler at you, little taste. Yeah. Hop on and holler at your family if you got time, bro. You dig?
Bro, let's split a team right quick.
Right here, it say the aborted. Shout out to Hezekiah and Nazarene, my brother Quran. He say the aborted baby spirit attaches the man and the woman because the angels inspired the parents to come together to procreate, but killed the baby. See, but a system in order, man. You dig? No matter what mess you've made, you can clean it up. No one said it was gonna be easy. You know what I mean? No one said it was gonna be easy. Prince, you dropped off. You want to come back on and click the screen, bro? It's all good. Now, here you go. Here's the warfare. So even if you've had abortions or miscarriages and all that, you dig? There's no reason for you to think you're gonna burn in the lake of fire forever and get your uterus ripped out. That's not the case. You know what I mean? But it ain't gonna be an easy task. You still gotta raise that child up. You know what I mean? In spirit, that is. You feel me? All right, watch this right here. Verse 9. Now, other than these angels, there are those who are slain in war, whose minds are in chaos, who dying in the heat of passion, fear, and anger become wild and bound on battlefields, or perhaps stroll away into deserted houses and castles and are lost, bewildered, and unapproachable. Y'all see this? This is the reality of those slain in war. Here you go, seal clapping because Israel just bombed Iran, or vice versa. Huh? Dang, they said their minds are in chaos.
You know what's a trip too? Because you know, Creator has a process of redeeming them out of chaos. But like, the question to me would be like, how long would a person have to be in that state of mind for? You know what I'm saying? Like, how long is that gonna have to take before the angels can revive? Because I know it's a system and order and process to it.
Yeah.
So
it's whenever it's time for like for the next God and all that to come sit,
Uh-huh.
You know, it be an excursion of the lower heavens. They come clear that sucker out.
Yeah, that's true. They do that every cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
out and all that. Like, you know what I mean? Yep. And then it's everybody go through their judgments and they put them,
Right.
suitable for them to start raising up and growing. But yeah, if they ain't came out of that condition before then, that's when it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Changing of the guard. So every 400 years or something, man.
Yeah.
Them southern Ethereans will come through and come clear out the entire lower heavens, empty all the hells out, all of it.
Yeah, that's facts. I think it was Fragapati and Hoab did that. Yeah. On one occasion I read about that mug is crazy.
Yeah, that boy Hoab was something. He didn't believe he had the juice at first.
Yeah, he did. That boy, he was like, he reminded me of like, you ever watch Dragon Ball Z? A little bit. Yeah, it's a character on there named Gohan. He like Goku's son. That's kind of how Hoab kind of reminded me, because he always had the juice, but he didn't know it. Yeah. And then one day he went Super Saiyan like 7 on them niggas. Just man, turned all the way up.
Yeah, cause that's what Hoab did. Once Fagapi let him know, like, nigga, look, you got the juice. Nigga, stand up.
Man, stand up.
Head first in the hell to lift in that sucker. Like, man, look.
He said, I can't hold this light too much longer, man. You're gonna have to get with it. And that boy turned up on him.
Peace to the righteous God. We got our brother Selah Shalom in the building. What's the word, King?
Big up yourself.
Hey, man, large up yourself. Big up yourself. Peace to my brothers, man. I'm in the city driving in this torrential rain, and I hear the brothers live, you know what I mean, chopping it up. So, you know what I mean, I said let the God tap in. I've been in and out, but I'm here though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this real quick, son, because I've been out the loop. What's been going on with this Iran and Israel thing? So what's really popping with that? What's going on? What sparked that? I'm out the loop.
A couple of days ago, Israel bombed, killed a whole bunch of Iranian scientists and started bombing their little nuclear sites.
Crazy.
Iran then fired missiles back. Some of them then crashed through. Some of them got picked off by the Iron Dome. But Israel is the one dropping bodies, though. They dropping bodies. I'm talking about they didn't kill the whole bunch of them. They about to turn Iran into a parking lot.
Man, that's crazy, man.
Iran was the force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it say Persia is coming with all the forces.
Right.
So I'm saying, so according to the biblical prophecy, Iran supposed to be winning this.
Right, exactly. I'm like, yo, that's crazy though. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, Netanyahu lost his mind. That nigga, he's wild.
Hey, did y'all hear the nigga Trump? Trump say they better get out of Tehran. Hey, look, you should have accepted the deal. You should have accepted the deal. There was a lot of talking going on. A lot of unfortunate waste of human life. All they had to do was just get out and just accept the deal.
That's it. That's it.
No games, yo.
But it seemed like Trump been trying to lean more towards peace more so lately. But
hey, through proxy of war, you heard what he just told them. He told them, I played the video in the beginning. He told them, y'all got 48 hours to get up out of here.
That's crazy.
And the worst is yet to come.
Damn. Because I seen a couple of videos where people trying to leave Tehran, like they on the highway, gridlock traffic.
They trying to leave now. This nigga Trump just told you, if y'all remember, Bush told Saddam insane that about 20 years ago. He told them, y'all got 48 hours to get the hell.
Hey, that's crazy shit right there, man. You got 48 hours.
George W. Bush. George Whiskey Bush told Saddam insane. You got 48 hours to vacate Baghdad. You ain't
sheesh.
He told him 48 hours, he started bombing in 12.
That's crazy, yo.
No games. And so Trump just told him the same thing. Y'all better get the hell out of Tehran.
So basically, Trump's saying get out of Tehran because we're about to start bombing Tehran, like civilian locations, everything.
Turn that sucker to a parking lot.
Yeah, that's crazy work,
They
man.
they can't have no nuclear weapons.
But you know, war begets more war, so I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
So hold up. You said who ain't got no nuclear weapons? Iran ain't got none?
Yeah, they're developing them, but Trump like, look, we can't even allow y'all to develop them to where y'all can use them.
Right.
So that's why they bombing them. They killing their scientists. They striking all they nuclear sites.
That's strategic. If they're gonna deal with warfare, that's a strategic move because it's like at the end of the day, you know, we Americans, we know what the hell we're capable of doing as far as, but you don't see no Americans strapping bombs to their body blowing shit up. We not there.
Nah.
So for them to have that mentality and to have nuclear, yeah, get them niggas up out of here. Because ain't no niggas over here strapping bombs to their body in the name of Jesus Christ.
Right, that's facts.
What?
Because they ain't got no, they'll drop a nuclear bomb. They don't care about themselves anyway.
Exactly. Case in point.
Man, that stuff is crazy, man.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Nah, he straight told y'all better clear the set. I'm not even.
But it ain't no, you know, man, shit. You better clear the set. You never know what these Negroes might do, man. The inspiration of these false deities, dog.
Yeah, and then
it ain't no fear here though. But at the end of the day, niggas, you know.
Yeah,
because you know we up on the Louis. So what we seeing is the activities of goddamn Louis. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
right.
I'm saying, you know, he got Jerusalem. You know what I mean? And everybody worshiping the Christianity. So yeah, but man, look, this is Trump. Like, look, whatever. So whatever false god it is that over Israel and the Allied powers, including Trump.
Man.
That God and his regiment is winning the war in the lower heavens right now.
Right.
Imagine that.
That's crazy.
Imagine that. So if it ain't Louis and Gabriel, it's somebody playing their position, yo, upholding that religion.
Exactly.
Ayatollah over there, Ayatollah Khomeini, boy, he's supposed to be a nutcase. Ayatollah over Iran, he's supposed to be the highest Islamic leader in the world. His name is Ayatollah Khomeini.
Khomeini.
Khomeini. You know what I mean? Man, look, this nigga heard.
Yes.
Trump talking to him like he a little nigga.
Trump talk to everybody like that.
I say, boy, this nigga right. Hey, boy, hey, he's something else.
Yeah, Trump, yeah, we need a nigga like that, to be honest. We needed somebody like that nigga to show face.
Yeah, real talk. If this was in Hillary's situation right now, I'd be all kind of panicking going on.
Supreme leader of Iran. Let me pull him up for y'all. Y'all can see. He's trying to strike a deal now.
Who you talking about, Mally?
Yeah, this nigga I'm gonna show y'all. Nigga Ayatollah Khomeini.
You talking about Ayatollah? You talking about old school Ayatollah? Yeah, Ayatollah. Yeah, definitely.
This nigga right here.
That nigga look like a straight up Caucasian.
Man, he's straight up about the Caucasoids, man. What?
Yeah, you got Caucasoids, Muslims fighting Caucasoid Christians.
Look at this. Ali Khomeini, supreme leader of Iran.
That's crazy, yo. That's crazy, yo.
Yeah, man.
He on Twitter. He on 51 minutes ago on Twitter. We must give a strong response to the terrorist Zionist regime.
Woo!
Zionist no mercy.
Wow.
Yo, these niggas have prepared themselves for hell not, yo.
Hell no. I was thinking that same. I'm saying, what? He just declared war on them niggas.
Facts. That nigga going into a hell now. He don't even know it.
Now I'm telling you.
Every single soul that died, he gonna be responsible for that thing, man.
Imagine, yo, that shit is crazy.
Every single person, baby, woman, man, child, every person, man, it's on his head. That's crazy to think about.
And then this is like today, let alone the generations prior to us. The continual war and bloodshed, the confusion of souls after death been going on in them regions for eons, yo.
Sheesh. Man. Yeah, nah, I'm cool. It's
cool.
Increased peace, man. War is the mark of the beast, man. For real, that's crazy.
It's all here if you think any of that got to do with the and that's why I thank the Great Spirit for
Yeah.
For bringing this understanding. It was so easy to receive. It was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because, yeah,
Easy work.
no matter if I'm angry or happy, 1 + 1 is 2. That makes sense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then think about the fear factor of what's going on. Like, oh, this is Revelations, World War III about to pick off the lake of fire, all that doomsday shit going on.
That's what my uncle is on. That's why I told Melly we're gonna have to holler at my uncle, man, because he won't stop. I'm like, I don't know.
See, that's all he knows. You know what I mean?
Right, that's all.
Until he ready.
Yeah, and then we just show him the spiritual conditions of what that doomsday bring.
That's the heavy stone right there.
That's the eye opener to make you consider: do you really want to follow a warring God when you're going to be born in spiritual chaos after death? You have a choice, like you say, Melly. You have a choice.
Keep reading that, Melly.
You say what?
I said keep reading that right there.
I'm finna to see like what you were saying. Like I was saying, what?
No, you were just saying, like, you got a choice to choose.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to choose the God of war. That's a choice you made.
Man.
You don't have to follow Islam. You don't have to follow Christianity. You made those choices to lock yourself into those.
When you got liberty so close to you.
Exactly.
It's every
Judgment 32:9. Now, other than these angels, there are those who are slain in war, whose minds are in chaos, who dying in the heat of passion, fear, and anger, become wild and bound on battlefields. Perhaps stroll away into deserted houses and castles. See, these are wandering spirits, chaotic wandering spirits, are lost, bewildered, and unapproachable. You can't even approach these suckers. This is their spiritual condition. This is their reality of those slain in war.
Come on.
You produce chaotic, bewildered, wandering spirits in the earth. Unapproachable. Look at this. Verse 10. Of these, there are hundreds of millions. They are in all countries. Israel, Iran, Russia, Ukraine, and they are in all countries and among all peoples in the world. What are we talking about here?
Oh, man.
What are we talking about here?
Yo,
You ain't never heard no type of clarity when it comes down to what's going on in the earth and the spirit world until you listening. Gang been bringing this out. Look at this. They are distracted. Remember, we're talking about the reality of the spirit world. They are distracted and tormented with their own fears and bewilderment. Judgment is rendered against all nations and peoples in the world who engage in war. Thus bringing these afflictions upon the angels.
That's it right there, man.
The afflictions upon the angels.
Break that down for us what that mean about bringing this afflictions on the angels of heaven. What that mean, brother?
Yeah, man, that's sad because it's like you're dealing with all these untimely deaths. It's like being at the hospital and mothers start spewing out them babies before time, and you're like, oh, where this coming from? Hey, go grab that. This baby only 4 months. Grab that. We got to put her on a ventilator machine because he's ain't fully developed. So it's like that's an affliction because it's like they didn't get a chance to even groom. So you got to deal with all these chaotic spirits. I remember reading Life in the Unseen World. That's a book. I forget the dude's name. Anthony something, if I'm not mistaken. But I remember in that book, it was describing how the dude was experiencing his journey in the spirit world. But towards the end, it described how the spirits of the dead that was dying in warfare was becoming more populous, more increasing at the time. And that time was supposed to be like the 1800s when, you know what I mean, that experience about life in the unseen world was supposed to take place. But what stood out is the fact that it stated the spirits of the dead are increasing, like the warfare is increasing, and it's creating more hospitals to be produced, more nurses, more doctors. So, and that was back then. So you could imagine now what the spiritual hospitals is looking like right now. The emergency room in the spiritual world is looking like right now.
Man. Man.
And you got people who don't even know if there's life after death. Look at the Satnatas of the world. He will be one, sad to say, but he will be one of those, the Jabbar, all them niggas will be chaotic spirits because their spiritual system doesn't go in depth about spiritual life on this level.
Right.
It's a great one of them Kemetic Hebrew cats. What happens, like we always say, what happens when you die in warfare based off the Kemetic literature, based off the Hebrew? Give us anything, and let's cross compare it to what we're sharing, and let's see which one is more clear.
Crickets.
Yeah, they don't want to do that battle of holy books for some reason.
Hey, you know what's crazy too? Like even about Christianity, where it talks about when somebody is baptized or they become saved or they accept Christ, right? That the heavens rejoice. The angels, the heavens rejoice at that one, right?
Right.
But they don't ever talk about how the angels mourn. They don't ever talk about the other side of that, and that's the fact that there is a spiritual chaos you can find yourself in. It ain't just hunky dory in the lower heavens.
Right. Even the Bible gives them a glimpse of a lake of fire and a hell. They got a glimpse of it, but they don't know the realistic conditions of that. Like the lake of fire, just walls of fire, so your ass won't escape. They don't know that.
Right. Exactly.
They don't know hell is equivalent to jail. They don't know that.
Or getting your ass whooped. They don't know that.
Yeah, hell not is your ass getting jumped by a whole bunch of cats.
That's it.
I was just telling one of our loved ones, man, like, hey, look, man, like the things, the topics, the clarity that the CGG is coming with, right?
Facts.
Listen to me, there ain't nobody else on the earth putting this out. And I know right now, it may not seem like, you know what I mean, the top sought after info. What I'm telling you is we so far ahead of the curve, 10, 15, 20 years from now, all you niggas gonna be CGG.
Man.
Yeah. You might as well get on this shit now, bro. What did you wait on?
Y'all so stuck on the white man thing is that's holding y'all back.
Bro, the deepest these niggas done went in the conscious community, y'all, is Inky and Leo. Damn Anunnaki.
Man, that's as deep as they get.
The deepest cats in the conscious community talking about the Anunnaki.
Exactly.
Billy Carson, and we just seen how he got handled.
Man.
You know what I mean?
And it's
is this your king right here?
Right.
This your man's in there. Him. Come on, bro. Like ain't nobody else even coming close. That's what I'm saying. Like,
and it's crazy that a lot of brews ain't found out about the Nazarene Scene Gospels yet.
That's what led us to where we at now.
Man.
That was 4 years ago.
I'm like, man, I'm looking at a lot of brews like, y'all ain't read this? Y'all still think Yeshua? Y'all, they missing a lot of gaps in history. That timeline is very important that they catch on to that, but they're not seeing it though.
You niggas 4 years late.
Man.
And 110 Nazarene editions behind.
Right.
A whole clip.
We got taught 440 hours of Nazarene Scene literature. 110 episodes at 4 hours apiece get you 440 hours. Copy. That's what I'm saying. It's like shit. Until y'all even attempt to catch up. Come on, man. It's just classes in session. Is all I'm saying.
Exactly. Classes in session, yo.
You dig?
Y'all can't come with them same weak ass verses that we already familiar with.
Man, we didn't beat that Bible up so bad, man. We didn't tore that mug to shred. But the crazy part is we ain't throwing it away. It's just everything. We got all of the daggers to slice all of that. I mean, from the dietary laws to the false deity. Man, Daryl Cosmon just blew Yahweh up again.
Exactly.
That was crazy.
You know what's crazy though? We gotta say we turn the Bible up. It's written against itself.
That's what I mean. It's just
Daryl wouldn't even been able to do that had not the Bible had it written in there about the deal. It's written against itself. It blew itself up.
Right.
Lou Among's doctrine was already written against itself. Anu Hassai's doctrine, the first style Lord and God who you worship, it was already designed to have you chasing your tail.
Exactly.
It was designed with some type of clarity and upliftment. And,
come on, man.
Anu specifically said he gonna keep niggas in ignorance about his exiles.
Straight up.
And he said he don't care nothing about you being ignorant.
That's wild, yo.
We just gotta be real with ourselves, man. Look at some of this right here. It say 32 judgment, 32 and 12. Judgment is rendered against all nations and peoples in the world who engage in war, thus bringing these afflictions upon the angels of heaven. Because y'all, there are angels whose job it is to receive the spirit of the newborn dead when they cross over. Now, you got all these millions of people being slain, dying early, being slain in war. They're birthed into the spirit world as chaotic spirits. And guess what? These angels have to find the skill to calm these jokers down.
Man.
You're going to be doing that one day.
Yep.
You're going to have to restore chaotic spirits and bring them away from the battlefields. Huh? And look at you complaining about thugs. Now, don't complain about them. Go raise them up.
Man.
That's it. Look at this right here. It's a right here. Verse 13. Judgment is rendered against every nation and all people in the world who carry on war or who are accessory to war. Oh. In which any man created alive by Jehovah is slain in defense of any king or other ruler or in defense of any country or government in the world. They just been over here slaying these Iranian scientists, boy.
Crazy.
We know the judgment is against the United States. We know the judgment is against the Israeli regime. We know it. It ain't just them, though. Those who are with them and against them. Same thing. Creator ain't got nothing to do with none of that, y'all.
Right.
Y'all might as well sit y'all ass on down talking about y'all waiting for the chariots to fly. You might as well sit your monkey ass down somewhere talking about you can't wait for these missiles to be launched out of these Russian silos.
Crazy.
The hell you don't do these missile strike. Look at this, verse 14.
In the hell no.
Whether any war is offensive, Israel, or defensive, Iran, my judgment is against its aiders and abettors, and against the kings and queens, or other rulers who are parties to war, willingly, knowingly, or otherwise.
That's crazy, yo.
It ain't with none of this warfare. You over here happy and seal clapping. Talking about we about to get up out of here. You ain't going nowhere.
We about to get up out of here.
We ain't going nowhere.
That's all we've been hearing. You know, this brother, man, we about to get
The promise.
out of here, about to crack the sky,
Hey, it's crazy because even when you look at the I forgot which, I think it's in the book of Divinity when goddamn Ahura, he tried to make that second coming. Like he came in the spaceships in the form of a pyramid trying to scare niggas. It's like he actually made that appearance to try to fool niggas that he's the Lord, every king shall bow down. The second coming is displayed in the book of Divinity as a false god, and it's like, nigga, Revelation is played out right there.
Man, scene 2.
See, even when he be like, boy, I was shot about to crack the sky with the chariots. Alright, so as the bombs dropping, you supposed to go gadget and get up out of here in the chariots, right? And then where are you going from there? You going over to Israel in the chariots and y'all come down to the earth with the
and what's going on with them whores around The temple.
Yeah, the whoremongers and ass chaps.
Yeah, what's
But I'm saying, notice that war brings Yahushua through the clouds and the chariots for more war. Because
wow. That's deep.
War begets war.
Facts.
Yeah, he going to war. He gonna spill so much blood. It's gonna be blood up in the horse's bridle for 200
right.
Yeah, man. That's crazy, yo.
He gonna
you got a spiritual being that's gonna have bloodstains on it.
He gonna have the birds of heaven come to eat their flesh.
That's wild.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Word.
Come on, man.
How that's gonna look? A spirit with human blood on him.
Come on, man. That's crazy.
Blood on his garments. He got a sword coming out of his mouth. He gonna kill the nations.
That's crazy, yo.
I think that's the insane Nazarene Yahshua, the son of the Creator, talk directly against warfare.
Right.
So you don't even know what you read in Revelation. Revelation wasn't always the last book of the Bible.
No, sir.
Revelation wasn't always the last book of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like you're dealing with some things that you really had no time to really like investigate. You just like, that's what it says, so that's what it is. You know what I mean? And that's the spiritual being. Look at this, verse 15. And I judge him guilty also, who is General Yohana, Commodore, Captain Zoya, or private, that engages in war or takes part in it, aiding, abetting, or otherwise, in which any man created alive by the Creator is slain or caused to suffer death.
That's crazy, yo. And you know what's funny? When you see the ISUPK out there training like they doing something. Like, nigga, Israel just wiped out Iranian scientists with one nuke, with one bomb. You niggas will be out there training in the field, and them niggas will wipe out niggas out with one bomb. Nigga, all that training, all that extensive martial arts out the window, nigga.
They in a facade. They in a weird frame of mind, man.
Man, that nigga's a park a hellfire missile right over your scalp, nigga.
Niggas went from training to waking up in a hell knot.
I'm telling you, bro. Look, they dropped that hellfire missile on that boy about 15 years ago. I don't know if y'all remember old Jihadi John. Jihadi John, nigga. I think it was Was it Bush in there? I think it was either Bush or Obama. It was one of them. Boy, they authorized the launching of a hellfire missile. This is what they call it. From a drone. And they parked that sucker on Jihadi John's scalp and melted him.
Wow. Dang.
Jihadi John, look him up.
Yeah, pull that shit up real quick. I'm like, dang. You got my attention.
Straight to a hell night.
That's crazy, yo. Nigga drop a nuke on his head, literally.
Man, they got this stuff all over. It's on Reddit and everything. Fire missile. This stuff all on Reddit and everything. Good night.
That's wild.
Jihadi John. That's what you're dealing with. There ain't no way in the world. There ain't no way in the world that the Creator sanctioned any of this.
Hell no.
At all, bro. You know what I mean?
And I noticed what the naysayers would say as well. Oh, you trying to say the Creator don't do it, but the Creator allows it and da da da. And the beautiful thing about that standpoint is that we could go into the fact that the Creator gave you liberty to make these choices. Ain't nobody pull your string. You made the choice to drop that bomb. You made the choice to become a false god.
Yeah. And
you decided to follow him. So it's like, shit. You can't blame the Creator. You got to blame you.
That's what you wanted. That's what you wanted, right?
Right.
That's what you want. You know what I mean? That's, you give you the hearts of your desires, right?
Exactly.
We got to stop all that goofiness. Man got himself into it. Man, clean it up. But why would he allow him? You ain't no robot. You got a choice. And you chose to do this, and this is what happened.
That's how real our creator is, that he will allow it to happen because you're responsible for cleaning it up. When a hurricane come through and decimate a city, we don't pray to God, nigga. We go out there, hands and feet, clean up. Look when Katrina, look at the destruction that Katrina did. We ain't sit around and pray to no God, nigga. We went out there, hands and feet, cleaned that shit up to the point where you wouldn't even never notice a hurricane hit New Orleans. So that shows you we are responsible for our own actions, just based off dealing with current events and natural disaster, and you know what I mean. We ain't waiting on no God to do that.
I ain't even got a trip. I heard here go Jihadi John right here. I know y'all remember the ISIS old faction of Nas Hezbollah and all them. They went from ISIS to the Taliban to Al Qaeda. So y'all remember that era back in like 2015.
Right.
Now this cat is part of ISIS named Jihadi John. Check this out.
Jihadi John had become a symbol for ISIS after beheading a number of hostages on video.
We'll begin to slaughter your people on your streets.
Pentagon officials say they targeted the terrorist in the ISIS-declared capital of Raqqa, Syria, but early today the U.S. could not confirm his death. The news came as ISIS appears to have suffered another major defeat. The Kurdish militia, called the Peshmerga, entered the strategic town of Sinjar in northern Iraq today and raised the Kurdish flag. CBN's Chuck Holton was recently on the ground there.
The city of Sinjar looks like Stalingrad at this point. There's probably not a square meter of that city that's not bombed out or half destroyed.
ISIS extremists overran Sinjar in August of 2014 as they rampaged across Iraq, driving thousands of people out. The U.S. has been partnering with the Peshmerga during the current attack on Sinjar, backing them with airstrikes. It's a key test for the Obama administration's military strategy of combining local ground forces with U.S. air power.
This is strategically an important area in Iraq in terms of taking the fight to ISIL.
In taking Sinjar, the Peshmerga have also severed a critical ISIS supply line. It runs between Iraq and Syria. ISIS has used Highway 47 for months to move both supplies and fighters. Heather Sells, CBN News.
What that city boy looked like it was a volcano.
Yo, that's wild right there. Yo, that's crazy.
Talking about U.S. drone airstrike believed to have been killed. This right here, killed in the airstrike. They like to show it right here. Like this. What's talking about? What?
Out of here.
Park that sucker right on his scalp.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Telling you, boy, you dealing with a monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When they say the beast, boy, they ain't playing. Man, that's
What?
crazy.
Boy.
Damn.
That ain't even no nuclear weapon. That's a hellfire missile.
You see what I'm saying?
That's not even no nuclear weapon.
So the crazy thing is, if all these Hebrew Israelites that can't stand and hate the white man, if you niggas would have been over there in them countries talking that shit, you niggas would have got duped just like that.
Right. Cause ain't playing no games with you, boy. Especially they assess you as any type of threat.
Exactly. Y'all niggas already said that y'all done put on the terrorist list, so y'all like y'all proud of that shit.
You know what they do to terrorists, boy? Oh, they did the old Jihadi John?
Yeah, these niggas proud to be on the terrorist watch list. Y'all niggas crazy.
Come on, on, man. We gotta be real with ourselves, man. You know what I mean? That whole spirit of war it's not of the Creator. It's not. It's not. Look at this.
Right.
Judgment 32:16. And yet aside from angels who are in chaos, there are hundreds of millions who are in declension instead of resurrection. So they fall and they not rising up. Look at it. It says hundreds of millions. Such angels are those who in mortal life were whipped and tortured in prisons, or perhaps were hanged or otherwise put to death. So a lot of that got to do with the ancestors of who you call slaves. Whipped, tortured, but look what that type of treatment, what kind of spirit that treatment produces. Look what kind of fruit it produces. 100 million souls of spirits that are in declension. These are fallen spirits. These are dark forces, right? And look what happened to them. The reason they are in declension is because while they was living, they was whipped and tortured in prisons, or perhaps were hanged or otherwise put to death. These angels, the ones who were whipped and tortured, these angels take delight in evil instead of good. Sometimes they go about singly, and sometimes in gangs of hundreds and even thousands. See, so the type of man and the type of spirit that bondage produces is a spirit or a man like this. It turns them evil. It turns them dark. Well, guess what? You responsible for it. You produced them. There ain't no reason for America to be mad at any quote-unquote gang member or thug or any of that. They ain't nothing but the byproducts of America. You made these things.
Facts.
You made them. And that's why niggas be on beach time and demon mode and all that. Yeah, you made them. You tortured them. You whipped them. You beat them. You put them to death. So now you got hundreds of millions of spirits that are angry. Don't care nothing about no resurrection. Running down. Looking, they delight in evil. Now hold on.
That's crazy.
We read in Deuteronomy 28:63 about the Lord saying he gonna rejoice in evil to destroy you.
Oh man, this shit is crazy, bro.
These angels take delight in evil instead of good. 18. In the past, the false gods used such angels. What angels? The men who were tortured, whipped, beaten, and destroyed and hung in their lives. In the past, the false gods used such angels of declension to do what? To fulfill curses on mortals. There you go, talking about you under a curse. Not just the wars, even the curses that you claim, Israel, are the byproducts of false gods. In the past, the false gods used such angels to fulfill curses on mortals and to carry poison in the air, viruses, and inoculate mortals with foul diseases. Now you know who behind the viruses. It ain't the creator. The Lord bring the plagues. Behold, in this day, my angels have shown you that they can bring flowers and ponderous bodies. Similarly, the false gods with their trained warrior angels who delighted in evil could cast mortals in death by poisons and suffocation. You see that? It ain't just the regular, the ones that's down with the creator that got spiritual powers. The false gods have trained warrior angels who delight in evil. That'll poison you and suffocate you. Man, y'all gotta come on home and deal with creator, man. You dig? And break yourself up from up under the toil of these false gods and deities. Because that's where it's at. Look at this. We almost done. We're gonna roll this out. Verse 20. Judgment is rendered against all nations and peoples who use prisons as places for whipping and torturing prisoners, and against all nations and peoples who put to death by hanging, shooting, or in any way whatsoever, any prisoner or any person whom the Creator created alive. Look at that. So he ain't with all your death row population. Well, there's electric chair, death by shooting or hanging, or what they got now, the injection. Judgment is rendered against all that, man. Look at this, 30:21. Judgment is rendered against the judge. Who handed the sentence out? Judgment is rendered against the judge and the jury who condemn to death any man. And against the lawmakers who make or have left in force a law authorizing death as a penalty against any person that Jehovah created alive, and against any who sheriff or executioner who puts to death willingly or knowingly any person that the Creator created alive. Hey man, look, I'm trying to tell you, everybody responsible, from the manufacturer to the judge, to the jury, to the lawmakers, down to whoever executed the judgment.
Damn. Man, everybody going to hell, man.
Nobody gets away with it.
Facts.
You know, all these big time gun companies, Winchester, Mossberg. You know what I mean? Man, it's been millions of deaths behind these weapons of death. Everybody from the manufacturer to the laws that were passed that allowed you to be able to get on that type of time, down to the person who pulled the trigger. Creator is fair. Look, he wouldn't even have to pull the trigger had you not never made it.
Exactly.
And then you pass a law for him to go ahead and be able to get it.
Exactly.
He's the one that got out there and acted on demon time and submitted to his lower self, and look what we had.
Exactly.
It is 22. And this is the bondage I put upon all those who do not obey my judgments and conform to them. They shall not rise above the first resurrection in heaven, while war remains upon the earth. Even though their bondage is 100 years or 1,000 years, yet this my judgment against them shall not be put aside. Creditors say, look, all right, well, y'all want to go to war for the earth and for the air and for the waters and all that? Well, guess what? This turns into a prison for you. And you got to clean up your mess before you can even begin your process of resurrection dealing with the Creator and his created world. You see, for us, it's a school. For everybody else, it's a prison this turns into. And he said, it don't matter if your judgment or your bondage is 1,000 years or more. Neither shall any king, queen, nor any other ruler in the entire world impress as a soldier any man who is unwilling to engage in war. What you mean somebody gave you orders? So now those who are in command are being put in check. Don't be around here giving nobody no orders to go slay nobody. And whoever does not obey this, my judgment shall not rise above the first resurrection in heaven, while war remains on the earth. So play around if you want to, Donald Trump. You become a wandering, hell-bound spirit. As long as war's in the earth, you here. Good night, boy. So it don't even benefit you to take nobody's life. You bind yourself to them. You know what I mean? You actually bind yourself to them. And this earth. Go ahead, Sila.
Nah, I'm just shit. This shit hit. It's like you be hearing it, but then when you hear it again, it just be hitting different every time. It's like I'm hearing this shit for the first time again. It's like, yo, this shit is deep. I don't know how cats could overlook this. I just don't see it, yo.
I don't see it either.
Yeah, man. And you know, they be here for a very long time, man.
Facts.
For a very long time for betting in these wars, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I read this stuff over and over again. I give it to a lot of people, man. And it's, you know, it's just crazy, man. Because, you know, like Donald Trump and them out there right now, you know what I'm saying, the betting engaging this, they have no idea what they got themselves into.
Nah, bro, they don't. They don't even know, man. Look at this. Look what he say in verse 24. He say, nor will I anymore consider the prayers of any king, queen, or any other ruler or any nation or people anywhere in the world who engage in war. Zip that up, Israel. Zip that up, U.S. Zip that up. It don't matter. Look, your prayers ain't getting above your earlobes. Your prayers ain't getting above your earlobes. This just said right here, I'm not considering the prayers of any king, queen, or any other ruler, or any nation or people anywhere in the world who engage in war, offensive or defensive, or who aid or abet war in any way whatsoever. Bag drop, boy. This is how you know this ain't got nothing to do with Israel and Iran. Israel and Palestine ain't got nothing to do with Creator. Nothing. He ain't hearing their prayers. Their prayers ain't rising above their nostrils. Big Cosmine Cow, the cloud kicker Cosmine Kruger's in the building. What's the word, loved one?
Oh man, love, light, balance out there. Man, I see we got who we got up here. Mike Live. Oh, see live. The young Megaton light bomb. Three of the horsemen up this thing, man. Salute to y'all brothers, man.
Man, salute.
Man, salute to you too.
Somebody mute up for me. Go ahead, Cal.
Yeah, no, y'all was cooking right there. I just right there, you where it says that nor will I consider the prayers of any king or queen or any other ruler or any nation or people anywhere in the world who engage in war, offensively or defensively, who aid or abet in war in any way whatsoever. So what y'all gotta understand is the nigga who go out and actually sit and snipe somebody and kill somebody, he just as guilty as the man who cooked the food, who fed his body to allow him to go out there and kill and get. I'm telling you, the quartermaster, the nigga who gave you the boots and the guns and the pants and the right equipment, he just as guilty as the nigga who actually peeled the cap. This is what you gotta understand. This is why the old schoolers, they used to have a song. It said, war, hood, good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing.
Dang.
Right? And then that's just on the physical plane. What are the consequences and repercussions of you blowing somebody's head off in the afterward? So what you got to do ain't no big me little you in war. Yeah. The general, he get a times his bond by how many people he was commanding. That's hurtful right there. So by how many people you kill and by how many people you led astray doing it, that's your bondage.
Hey man, killing somebody, you bind yourself to them, man. Hey, think about the cats that got millions of bodies on their jacket, bro. Oh my God, hey.
That's crazy.
It ain't never been enough hate. I'm not trying to be bound and stuck to none of these niggas, man. Like, it ain't even enough hate in the world for none of that, bro. To be honest with you, like, no, leave me alone.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm just saying, the dude who was cooking up the pancakes for the Warriors,
yeah,
is just as guilty as the nigga who pulled the trigger. You dig what I'm saying? This is what y'all gotta understand, man. They gonna lump you all together in a spiritual sense. You going in a category, in a rank. But dig this though. This the dope part. You ain't locked into that neither. You can know you did some wrong and try to start making it right, evening it out the best way you know how today. Right? Guess what that goes to help do? It goes to show, I was looking at this, that men who suffer from PTSD, who actually get out and engage with the neighborhood and their family and try to work through this situation, doing, through helping people, right? The PTSD lessens or leaves. It helps with it. But the man who's sitting there stewing in it, oh man, you got drooges all on you. And you know it. And the crazy part is you see them. You see them. They in your sleeps, they in your daydreams. You telling people think you crazy now. Yeah. The reason why that balloon go off and Uncle Joe jumped crazy is because Uncle Joe been seeing spirits ever since. He killed that young man over there, the Viet Cong.
Right. Unless she keep playing out in their head, like they imaginations torment them.
Yeah, they keep fighting.
Yeah. Look at this right here, y'all. So we read that the prayers ain't even being considered, right? So everybody that's over here seal clapping like, you know, this has got something to do with the creator, you've been greatly deceived. Because the creator ain't even hearing you. The true God ain't even hearing your prayers. The creator for sure ain't hearing. Look at this. I will abandon all such people, and my Lord shall abandon them, and my holy angels shall abandon them. And they shall be left as a prey to their own harvest of evil spirits and to all manner of true jobs.
Now look, before you go on, I want y'all to pay attention to what is going on in the news. Everything we are about to say is on the front page. Pay attention. Go ahead, man.
Look at this. And it says, and they shall be afflicted with assassinations. But didn't they just assassinate several Iranian scientists?
Yup. Didn't they assassinate the governor dude up there in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Didn't they hit the dude from the biggest insurance company?
Yeah.
Didn't they kill the Cash App dude? Threw him out the window
last year. Yeah. When they trying to kill Donald Trump, he got killed him twice.
They say assassinations and rumors of assassinations.
That deal saying they should be afflicted with assassinations, intriguers, and the spoilers, and with anarchy, riots, and destruction.
Anybody seen any riots lately? Huh? Anybody been watching the news? Huh? Seen any riots? Seen any destruction? These two words are probably the biggest ones you would notice: intriguers and despoilers. These are your fake news. These are your paid crisis actors. Oh yeah, it's all real. Y'all better pay attention when you start to see stuff like this. Jaja say that is a tightening of the vortexian belts around the earth, and it is precipitating a change. A change is coming. When these things happen, because look what he said he doing. His angels is leaving. Right? We know for a fact the light is going higher. So who up there actually running things? They told you. They shall be left as prey, to their own harvest of evil spirits and to all manner of drudges. See, what we got to understand is the fear-based doctrine is to put you in fear, to get you thinking this is going to be your demise. You ain't enslaved nobody. Your government did though. You ain't go to war. Your government did, though. You ain't assassinate nobody. You ain't pulled off no coups. But your government did, though. So you dig what I'm talking about? When they talking about all that stuff, you look around. Look around. We 23 years out, whether you know it or not.
Wait, look at this right here, y'all. It get better for us, worse for them. Look at this. It still say, and they shall be afflicted with assassinations, intriguers, and despoilers, and with anarchy, riots, and destruction. That's worldwide right now, right? Look at this. So you're reading prophecy. Look at this. For they shall be made to understand that whomever Jehovah created alive is sacred upon the earth. And that whoever does not heed these, my judgments, sins against the Almighty. Bag drop, boy. Bag drop, boy. Behold, it is not sufficient apology for them to say, oh, an evil king will come upon my country and possess it. I say to you, old man, all countries are the creators. Be a servant for peace and righteousness, having faith in him. Behold, your God has come to put away old things, to give you the kingdoms of the Creator as they are in his exalted heavens. Not on earth, not the New Jerusalem on earth. Exalted heavens with an S. Heed the judgments of your God. You cannot stop. You cannot stop the hand of the Almighty.
Wait, hey Mally, you could go back up just a couple verses. It was a verse up there where it said, behold, it is not sufficient apology for them to say, oh, an evil king will come upon my country and possess it. What a Waspy is saying is, it's not sufficient for them to say, oh, Putin gonna come over here and take over America. Oh, Xi Jinping gonna come over here and take over America. What's the little nigga in Trump called it Rocket Man in North Korea? What's his name?
Kim Mentally Young Il.
Yeah, Young. He it's not sufficient to say, oh, BRICS is gonna come over here and just take over, and it's not sufficient for you to go over there and wipe these people out. It's not a good enough excuse, right? Showing that everything that you see in the world right now, the genocide against the Palestinians, the IDF or Israel bombing Iran and Iran bombing Israel, the attacks on Syria, or the attacks on Oman, war across the world. Understand that your creator has nothing to do with it. And the only reason they even still allow to, you dig what I'm saying, even carry on war is the creator is allowing them to have free will. If he just withdraw his angels, they'll wipe each other out. Anybody ever heard of Troy?
Yeah, sure.
Anybody ever heard of Athens? What happened to it? Anybody ever heard of Babylon? What happened to it? First things first, they fucked over job people. First things first. Understand that them people don't exist. Well, guess what? Your government messed over God people over here too. It's just more recent. What you think gonna happen? Remember, God people still here. Creator people still here. Them countries ain't. Where is ancient Egypt? Where is Persia? Where are the Assyrians and the Persian Medes? Huh? You got a Mede homeboy? Huh?
A Median homeboy? You got a Median homeboy. You crazy, bro.
I'm telling you, you mess over the creative folks, man. He turn you into a dinosaur. Turn you to a dinosaur. Make you don't exist no more. America, wake up.
Man.
You got a karmic debt, boy.
I'm telling you, man, it's a lot. Look, it's a lot going on. You know what I mean? It's a lot going on, but man, really, we in the best position there is. You dig? Just even knowing the system in order of the spirit world, and knowing, like, you know, even the setup with those slain in war, and just knowing the overall character of the creator, man. Bro, it gives us so much of an advantage. Because we ain't got to put that warmongering, fearful, vindictive, angry, jealous jacket on the creator to justify the evil and the darkness that's going on in the earth. We ain't got to do that. You know what I mean? So, man, hey, the wonderful chop session. I'm glad y'all bros got on here, chopped it up with me a little taste. Been on here a little bit over 3 hours. I just wanted to get on here, man, just reach out to the people to let them know, look, don't be tripping off the fear mongering, the war mongering. People trying to say that this carnage, bloodshed got anything to do with your maker. We all know that. You know what I mean? And as we seen today, just cracking the O open and just slide through there. Just slide through there. Read. I mean, it's the clarity is amazing. You know what I mean? So if y'all got some understanding today, y'all drop a 7,000 in the chat. My brother Mayak. Hey, bro, you got any part in the last words you want to give to the people before we slide up out of here, brother?
Man, you know, not really much to say, man. You did a great lesson, man. And, you know, all praise to the Great Spirit for this great understanding and actually waking us up when we thought we was already woke. You know, and
True.
we thought we was in the truth.
I thought we was already woke.
Nah, man. All praise to the Great Spirit for the real great awakening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And speaking through you brothers, man. I thank y'all, Kings. But yo, man, it's good. Thank y'all for letting me just get on. I was just kind of working at the same time, listening and trying to speak.
Man, you outside bending corners looking at eye candy.
I mean, you know,
hey, that boy got the fresh cut. That boy got them shades on. He outside.
Yeah, man, that's where I'm at. You know what I mean? Outside.
Got the taco sauce on. That boy outside. My brother, Mayak, man, love you, bro.
Man, love y'all too, man. Hey, man, peace, love, light, and balance, Kings.
Hey, same to you, bro. Keep your head up, man. And hey, look, safe it up where you at. Keep your head up.
Shalom, Kings.
Shalom, man. Shalom, man. Cosman Kruger, the cloud kicker. My beloved brother, man. Any last words you got for us, man? Talk.
Hey, man, y'all go to Cosman Cal TV, sub, like, share. Sure, something over there you can groove with, man. Another fire lesson, Malaki Macabee. I didn't, crazy part is I didn't even know you was on. I'd have jumped on earlier.
Yeah. You know how I be, man. Sometimes, man, these notifications don't go out, but I try to put them in all our chats.
Yeah.
Get it out the way. But I just wanted to get on and chop it up, man. Just real clear, real quick, straight to the point. Craig ain't got nothing to do with this.
Point. You get what I'm talking about? You know, being around the bush. Israel, Palestinian, the protests nationwide dealing with the immigrant. Craig ain't gonna do none of it. None of it. You know what I mean? So at best, I put my piece on it. You know what I'm saying? I cancel war with peace and I just keep it moving because look, we focus on it too much, man. It becomes our reality. So that's why you never heard us over here warmongering and fear-mongering with folks. Like, yeah, that's going on, but we can put our focus on a whole nother reality and let that be our manifestation. You feel me? Right.
So it's all good, bro. Talk to us.
Oh man. Hey, you could just do something for me before I get up out of here?
For sure.
Hey man, breathe in. Let that light in.
Yeah.
Hey, cause I'm Cosman, y'all. And I'm out.
And shout out
Peace,
to the
peace, King.
Make sure y'all go over to Cosmine Cow TV, like, subscribe, share. He's my brother. Sila Shalom TV, like, subscribe, share. Daryl Cosmine TV, like, subscribe, share. We are your creative gang, CGG, or the Four Horsemen. And we are here bringing the understanding, the difference between the creator and the gods and deities. You understand? So tap back in with us. You got any questions, email us. You dig? Let's get something going. You want us up in your city? The numbers is right. We on the way. You dig? You want to do some presentations on your platform? Let's talk plant-based, baby. Let's make it happen. Whatever it takes to unleash his life, we with it. You dig? On to the next time, family. Love, light, and love and light bombs. All praises to the ever-present creator, the God maker, to make us suns, moons, and stars. Whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere. Everywhere. And dig? Till the next time, family. Love and light bombs. I'm gonna go ahead and play some music, let it ride out a little taste, and we out. And we out of this deal. Let's get it. All right, take your time, man. Love and light.